Hello, hello. How is everybody?
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, we can't it might be my settings. Hang on one second. Let me get you up here. Suma, you guys go ahead and talk. I think my settings are the reason why we can hear her but not see her. I
Okay.
just want
Oh, I
to
see you
say.
have your cute little co-hosts with you.
Hello. Hello,
Hi, Kat.
everybody.
Hi, everyone. Oh,
This is
there's
so
Snoopy.
exciting.
Yeah.
There we go. I had the audio avatars up. I know. I'm excited. I feel like I want to say naughty things. Like I hope Brian is rocking out with his, you know what.
Yeah. Well, if
Not
he's not
bad.
now, then when?
Right. Exactly. $300. I think it's like $350 or whatever that he's now actually like remaining out of pocket. So
Yeah. It was a slow burn, that the reading of the final judgment, because we went on like a roller coaster there. At first it was like, what?
right, because it said like partially granted. I was like, uh-oh.
Right, and like the total went from, as soon as I saw like 60 grand or 20 grand, I was like ready to lose my mind.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, it was always going to be the 20 because it's the law. Even though we don't like Sarah, it's what the law says, right? Because he didn't file until 2022. But when we were in the hearing, the judge said like 15K and she got Martell to agree. Like he was like, well, we're on an offset, and then she repeated it. And I was like, that's not right. Like, is that some back of the envelope? Because it would have been March 1 until May 1, because I think he filed April 12th. In 2022, and so that was like a little, but it was always going to have to be something because he filed late, right? But I mean, I think it still blessed him on the back end, and I had always thought like I was hoping it would be zero, and that's what Martell asked for, is like as close to zero as possible.
Yeah.
Call it even, right? And so it was really close. Before we get started, we're going to go through this. I just want to let everyone know we would like to not use the son's name, not use the city that they're living in, if at all possible. I'm Tanika of Tanika's 2 cents. Or like AG calls me, Tanika 2 cents. This is Suma. Suma, do you want to introduce yourself and your channel?
I'm Suma from Summa Cum Loudmouth. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here.
And Miss Classified Crime.
Classy and Snoopy here from Classified Crime. So excited to go over this with you guys.
Yay. So show of hands, I guess, in the comments. Pleased with the order, number 1 or 2? You wish it could have been better.
As long as Sarah's upset, I'm happy.
Oh my God, I wish I could see her face. I don't even know if she knows yet because it's still the wrong address. She still has it going to the main Lowell. And we know, like, from the calls, one of them, something from the court was like 16 days late.
According to her, but I don't believe her. So I think the thing that makes me feel best is that Sarah will feel about this the same way she would if she got nothing.
Yes, because she didn't get the full amount she asked for.
Right, and far from it.
Right.
Well, did she really think she was getting $62,000? Like, come on, ma'am. Oh my God.
She thought she was going home, so
her whole, like, her math is never mathing. I'm sorry, it just never is mathing. Like, it's ridiculous. I wish I could have seen her
go down
face.
to the courthouse to get a slip with a number on it so she can just go home some days very soon.
Oh, that's right. Because parole's coming back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to apply to her.
Oh my God. We have 15K versus 22. Yes. So I believe it's the offset. So if you remember, and I said this in my arrearages video, the judge had said 15,000 at the hearing. Even there, we were all like looking at each other like that's odd. So I said there was some back of the envelope, something going on. But there's some sort of offset happening for his $600 that he was giving her, right? He said he did it. Sarah also agreed. She did not disagree that she got the 600. She just said it was a gift. Well, that's up for the judge if it's a gift or not. But she didn't say, no, that never happened. So he's getting credit for that. What I think a lot of people are going to miss, and I guarantee if her flying monkeys are reading this to her and she doesn't actually have it yet, they've missed. She's now got to pay for her own calls out of that $145. That calculation is in there. So I'm excited. And it's in a footnote. A lot of people don't read the footnotes, but I mean, technically he's paying for it because he's given her the 145, but it will be interesting, I think, to see because the last payment is March of 2028. He doesn't reach majority until October of 2028. How many calls does she make after the money runs out?
What
She's
she
gonna need to make
figures
some
out
new
that
friends.
the cost of a call is about the cost of a honey bun. I don't see them ever speaking again. That's just my honest, like, not even joking opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not gonna sacrifice any of her own
Thank you, Skank Hunter.
comforts in
Yeah.
any way.
No, and it's all for show because I feel like he's gonna say hi and then he's gonna go bye-bye. You want to dip your head in? Say hello.
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 He's like the neighbor from what was that show? Home Improvement. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, so I think it was all convenience. Like, and I love how the judge pointed out, it's been all this time and you just agreed the day of the hearing that you didn't need child support. And then you were demanding. She would have gotten more. I don't know if that offer was really real that she mentioned, the $5,000, because I searched all the documents and didn't see anything in writing. She would have gotten more that way in her pocket. And she's still got a bit of homework to do. They can't hear me, honey. Because she's got to set up a separate account. Her regular trust account at the prison won't have more than $300. It's not like she can book it in there and then take it out a little bit out. There's a separate account they will let you have, and it will not accrue interest. But I'm going to let this. Hi. I pulled this up because I wanted to say hi to Meowgarita. Hi, Meowgarita.
Hi, Meowgy.
Are you done with spring break? Who else is here? Good morning, girls. That judgment was it really was. It was like Suma said, a roller coaster. Like, oh my God, where are we going with this? I should have started at the last page, but I was like, I need to know every single thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hello, Australia. It's afternoon there. Welcome. Ositari. Hopefully I'm saying that, or Ositari.
Hi, Dreadful Penny. I watched your earlier video today. Your live. It was great.
Larry Powers is making a good point. The money Brian ends up owing is less than what he's going to get back in his child support account.
He's in a debt of $300. Oh, that's going to fall. It's not exactly more. He's $300 short because he's only getting back $3,600 from the child support. I covered that in my arrears.
Oh, he's only getting $3,600 back. Okay.
Yeah, he says $4,000, but that's not what's in unclaimed funds, and that's not what's on that arrearages sheet. Brian's son is what I use. Me too. Sarah's gonna be pissed, but we know there's a letter coming, right?
Oh,
Sarah's gonna be pissed.
My goodness.
Yeah,
I think I'm looking forward to that even more
because of how unhinged it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we needed this to get to that.
Yes.
As long as this, I mean, this is pretty much, is this what you expected? Because this is kind of what I expected.
Yeah, I mean, she had to be balanced and fair. She had to have case law to support her decision. So, I mean, it does make sense the way that she wrote it out. And she's still got some snide little jabs in there, which I love.
Oh, that was my favorite. And I think while she was balanced and fair, I do think that had Sarah been, of course, a completely different person and presented very differently, that she could have got more.
Yeah.
I mean, she had a choice. She gave it seems to me she gave the bare minimum that she could legally.
Correct. Because
all we
she
can do.
mentioned their demeanor and their, reading their body language, reading their tones and their reasonableness in this document, how
Right.
one parent is obviously coming across as reasonable and one is not.
And I
So,
love that Sarah was so upset that she couldn't be there in person because of how well she presents and reads a room.
yeah, probably would have made it worse for her.
Much worse, of course. I mean, but she's the only person who doesn't know that.
Were you surprised that they didn't mention anything about Sarah possibly owing any child support to Brian?
I was. I mean, I guess the only worst thing that could have been is if they did mention that and take, then she would be left with nothing, I assume, if they did that. I
Right.
think they could have at least mentioned it though, and kind of like, and said, we're going to waive that. They could have addressed it, I thought.
Because Mr. Martell did bring up that
Yeah.
in the
And it's
hearing
valid,
that
I
she
think.
would actually owe,
Yeah.
They
And I
didn't
think it's a
necessarily
very
speak
valid
it,
point.
but
You know.
I thought the judge might have addressed that.
Yeah. I would have liked it, of course, but I like that she addressed so many things that are going to piss Sarah off so much, like the fact that, I mean, she actually put it in writing that there were nights that Brian would have to come pick up the child because Sarah wanted to start drinking.
Yeah, the fact that she put that in there tells me she took Brian's testimony quite seriously.
Yes, we know who she believed, that's for sure. And she did her own discovery. So there's nothing to bolster any of Sarah's claims, any of them. I mean, she saw what kind of life she was living.
Yes. And she does say that there was no evidence presented to this, nothing said about that. As we go through the document, you'll see that nobody mentioned anything about this. So she didn't even address it.
Right. And she also, I really like that she went through the I have it highlighted. She mentioned how there was nothing to back up her claims of that she can't properly process, her stomach can't process the food.
That was hilarious. She
That was
totally she said she didn't provide anything to support it. And she's very legit to question that, because where were her documents from? She could have gotten a document from the nurse at the prison stating she has this condition and she's
Of
being
course.
treated
Well,
for it
she couldn't
adequately.
because there is none, but yeah.
Exactly.
But the fact that she made these bold claims with no backup, and I mean, because of that, Judge Jackson did not have to address those things. Really? She could have just
Right.
not mentioned it, but she did because she knows who she's dealing with, I would imagine.
Right. Someone in the comments made a good point that Brian didn't ask for child support. The attorney just mentioned that.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
They could ask for it.
Mhm.
We've lost Tanika. She texted that she lost her laptop, so we're gonna wait for her to rejoin us.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
in the comments, I see people saying Brian didn't ask for child support, so that's why the judge didn't bring it up. It wasn't in his modification request.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And because he was the bigger man. I mean, can you imagine if he was, well, I mean, only he would be able to get through this the way he did. And he played the long game, which is very smart.
Yes, he did. And I'm sure it was incredibly excruciating for him.
Yes. For all of us.
But he had to do it this way. And I was thinking about, man, if he had filed for this modification earlier, but she didn't go to trial. She hadn't gone to trial yet. I think he was kind of waiting to see what would happen. He didn't really know what was.
Well, that's why he did this, because he started to see that he thought she was going to drag this on forever.
Right. And if he had filed for the modification sooner, he wouldn't be on the hook for that $15,000 or whatever it was she calculated. From the date of incarceration till he filed the modification was 2 years roughly.
Right.
So, $24,000 is where they're getting that. But if he had filed it sooner, he may not be on the hook for all of that. But also, I think he just was kind of like not. I mean, it was a huge life change for him. of course. Going from having whatever kind of a parent Sarah was to him being the full-time parent.
It had to have been easier though, really, honestly.
Right.
Like, other than the horrors of what his son had to go through.
Yes. So
Which
he then had to, I mean, he had to deal with a crazy situation he didn't ask for. So
yeah, I mean, it was horrible, but the the piece of knowing that she's locked behind bars must have been worth something.
yes. But
I would
all the
imagine.
things that come with parenting their child together while their parent is incarcerated had to have made it more challenging for him.
Yeah, but
on that front.
yeah, although do you think it's more challenging than every single time that he would be over there, he was worried and had to go pick him up and
Oh
no,
no.
that's gotta be
The anxiety sending him over there alone. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. And just the few body cam we saw where the time that she walked barefoot, she just walked down the street to Brian's house barefoot.
Yeah.
And then
And woke them up and then called him to come bring her the keys.
Yeah, that alone,
And that's just the
that
one we
little
saw.
snapshot.
So I think really it's much easier to parent alone.
Yeah.
There's that.
I'm sure it took a lot off. But that's probably why he didn't file for the modification, because he was thinking I've got to put a retainer down on a lawyer. That's going to be legal fees. He knew Sarah was going to drag it out.
Yeah, and I think that this is probably the outcome they expected, honestly. Best case scenario, really.
Yes. Oh, okay. Sarah T. And then some numbers behind it. It went up in the chat. She said we need to come up with a drinking game for the letter. So let me know in the chat what are our buzzwords for her letter?
Yeah.
I know one. Not intentional. I'm putting it in the chat. Not intentional is going to be my buzzword. I'm going to start us off. What else are we going to hear for our drinking game when she gets this letter out?
You mean for the letter that's going to come from her?
Yeah, after she reads this ruling.
Quote, justice, unquote, quote, system, unquote.
Oh, yes. Quote unquote, justice system.
Quote unquote.
Somebody says successful outcome.
Yeah.
Alimony. These are going too fast.
Biased and unfair is also really good.
Biased and unfair. Spells of malevolence. Please, you don't understand. No one ever understands. She's the only one.
Yeah. If you don't mind, please. I mean, I think we're going to get a lot of, we'll get probably a new sort of injustice, something new there, I would imagine.
Oh, God.
Maybe
futuristically, we're going to hear that. Futuristically. Cattywampus. Larry Power says cattywampus.
Imagine.
Luca's hosting, so I can't post. I can't highlight the comment.
Yeah, I can't do that, of course.
She's got a power cord and she's getting her laptop charged back up.
Poor Tanika, and it was so nice of her to do this.
She did a lot of prep for this, so make sure you guys like the video because she recorded reading the document so we can react to it.
But I mean, it's not like she really has anything to do. It's not like she has two babies at home or anything.
Yeah, that's true. So what else was she going to do with her afternoon?
Yeah. My rights. Yeah, exactly. Honorable. Who said that now? Where is that? I was just going to say that. B. Ruxpin says, Honorable Judge Jackson, but honorable in quotation marks.
My rights. Yes. Oh, low blood sugar.
Glucose concerns.
Her grandfather died.
Yeah, of diabetes, just like everyone else's did, by the way.
He had diabetes and he died. I don't know that I don't know.
Well, right, that's true. They may not have been connected. That's a good point.
Okay, Tanika wants me to go ahead and play the video she sent us. Hold on. Let me email it to myself.
Do you have it? Because
hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Thank you.
Seconds.
Hello, Whiskers.
Filed April.
Okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm trying to send it to my email so I can download it on my laptop.
Oh, I can probably send it to your email if you want.
Okay. Because she sent
Yeah.
it in a
Oh,
text.
she did? Oh, right.
Yeah.
You want me to email
Let's
it to
see.
you?
Filed April.
Okay.
If you can.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to try to copy this YouTube link and then we can play it. Because I think I can present. Yeah, it'll let me present it as a video file. Technical difficulties.
I'm sending it to you in a sec.
Oh, I received everything late. That's a good buzz. A pending appeal. We're definitely going to hear that. Slanderous. Scoundrel. Do you think the judge will be a scoundrel?
I don't know.
I wasn't allowed to use my tablet. Okay, what do you guys think about the tablet? Do they have a one-to-one tablet? Do they have to share tablets?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder about that.
Okay, I think I've emailed it to myself now. Yes. Okay.
I just emailed it to you also.
Okay,
So.
perfect.
I don't know. I was under the impression that it was a shared thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think they have to they have a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're allowed to just.
Otherwise, I can't imagine why she wouldn't be able to bring it. Well, I mean, it's possible she wouldn't be anyway, I guess.
Okay, now I need to. Okay, let me see if I can present this video file, or I can share my screen. Let's see. Oh, Tanika's back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right, I was getting ready to share my screen with the video.
Why you turn my TV off? What are you doing?
You didn't go in there. The door's open.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
It says my browser has lost. Can you guys see and hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's weird. Sorry. Apparently, the battery was dying when I wasn't in here. I had the. You don't care. We're here.
Of course we care.
It's too much. It's
But
my
we don't mind.
brain
We care,
hurt.
but we don't mind.
Okay. let's get started. Sorry, guys.
You are all good. We were playing a drinking game, buzzwords that we're going to see in her letter response to this
Nice.
order. Yeah.
Okay. Hope.
B. Rutzman bridge troll. I doubt it. I took a shower for this. That's why I look so refreshed.
And Dr. Pepper is making an appearance. Thank you. Rub it in. Can I just grab my Dr. Pepper?
Oh my god. I don't hear it. I might have to play it. That's what I went to get my other laptop. I might have to play it. Okay.
Oh, I doubt they can log into their Google account. Any account outside. I think all of the accounts are locked into intranet from within the prison system.
She had a Yahoo account, I seem to remember. Her email was Yahoo.
There's no way they can get into outside.
No.
Wait, I missed it. Who has an Outlook account?
No, it was a Yahoo, I think, is Sarah's email.
Sarah.
Oh,
We all know that, I'm sure, because she says
an email
or something. Yeah. I don't think she'll have to. Edie BD is asking, will she have to pay criminal court fees now? I don't think. So, right? Because those were waived.
No, something was reduced to a judgment. So when that money hits her account, they're
It
gonna
is
take
going to
it out.
go, right? I mean, she's not going to be
Mhm.
left very much. I'm sorry to say. I'm afraid to say.
No. And I figured out too when she's talking about a lien, because I got like this financial document from them, it is just like a placeholder because they charge them their pay to stay once a week. And so
Mm.
like they get the commissary the day before that hits, and everything else goes into a lien. Like it's just due and owing. But it doesn't necessarily, it's not like a bounce check, if that makes sense. They'll put it in a placeholder and then they will allocate it out. So they'll get their money. It's like layaway. It's like that. Like they'll get their money eventually, and you already got the goods.
Gotcha.
Beth of a salesman says it's hard to believe Sarah brought us all together. It's the best thing she did. Only good thing she did, really, for maybe
Yeah. Oh my God. And there's so much shade in here from Judge Jackson. I love it.
It's my
Yes.
favorite part of the whole thing. It's like so, and I think it was Cliff. Someone was saying it's so great that how many times she mentioned convicted, convicted murderer.
I know, convicted murderer. They got it wrong though. The killerer. They put killer. I think like whoever typed it thought it was. But I'm like,
It was
oh,
the only thing there wasn't a typo on.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody corrected it and they shouldn't have. Yeah. But her head is spinning off. They like convicted murder, second degree murder, like every variation of it. I was like, oh, I love it.
And she says
Yes.
that there's nothing to back up the claims that she made that they said that to her. I think that was one of those things.
Yeah. No, because he said I was explaining to him what a killer or no, I'm kidding. What a murder, what does that look like? And what does it mean to be accused of it? Because of course he was what, 8, 9. He's gonna be like, where's mommy?
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, yeah.
Sarah does have a pending family court fee on this case from their initial divorce filing in 2017. It's like $250 she owes from her initial filing for divorce. But her attorney had withdrawn at that point, so of course it never got paid.
We'll keep going, but I'm gonna look for this 250.
Okay.
Will James Owens come for his fees? Imagine everyone starts coming out of the woodwork, like that guy Ben from Hooligans or whatever it's called, who's going to come looking for the $5 she owes him.
How would he know? I guess it's posted.
Yeah.
Billy Lane is going to want services.
Yeah.
For his services.
He's been taking calls, so yeah.
Oh, has he?
As recently as December, yeah.
Who? James?
Billy Lane. Oh no.
Billy Lane.
Billy Lane.
Oh. Yeah.
Just under a couple minutes, but still.
I guess
I don't think James is going to reach out to her. I think he's done.
I don't know how much money she would have to have a lot of money for him to even bother talking to her, I think.
Well, remember, he takes $50, $25.
Anymore. That was before
until 2028.
Yeah.
She might have a couple bucks for him.
But you know, he's decided the 50's not worth it to deal with her.
No.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, I love you too. Yeah, okay, I'll play, but I'll look on the Orange County Register. I want to see this.
Chillwood apartment is still waiting for their cleaning fees.
Oh. Yeah, Tanika is frozen. Somebody says in the comment. I thought it was just on my platform, but no, I think
she'll be back, I'm sure.
Okay. She's multitasking on her end because she's hosting, so her computer may be freezing up while she's trying to pull up the video.
Here she is. I don't think Owens will come back to collect anything. I think that he would rather die than deal with Sarah for any reason.
Yeah, I mean, he retired after, like, he is nowhere to be found.
Yeah. He got Sarah'd.
He got Sarah in a big time, but he did it to himself.
Absolutely. He asked for it, so. I think had he actually been a true crime buff, as he claimed to be, and done some real research, he would have had a better idea of what he was in for.
I'm grateful for him, though. Imagine
I am
Sarah
too.
with no lawyer.
It would have
Oh,
been
yeah.
a nightmare, and she would have had a better chance of appeal.
Yeah, it would have been a Daryl Brooks situation.
Yeah. But Sarah, who,
But
I mean, I don't know. He is.
They're both
They're
vile.
really. They're both horrible.
yeah,
Good
she
night,
has her
Ginger.
own brand, but it would have been just as excruciating.
Popcorn.
Yeah, they're different, but both horrible. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think
Okay.
Judge Cranick would have lost his patience as much as
Ian.
Daryl Brooks Judge did.
No, yeah. I mean,
Darrow,
I
Stephanie
think that-
Darrow. Oh,
I
Poor
think that
thing.
Sarah's
He
much
was
more
trying.
stupid than Daryl Brooks.
Yeah,
much more what?
Stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Or
There's
rather,
a certain crassness with his entitlement. Do you know?
yeah.
Like it's, I don't
Yeah.
know. He's weird. Oh yeah, Oh, you guys can see that. $2.95.
per se Sarah would have been more traumatic. It's true. And Jay.
I mean, they both had a kind of special effed up way to kill
Yeah.
people. So,
Oh, yeah.
oh, it's not showing.
And not take accountability for it.
Mm-hmm.
Larry says Sarah will be owing for medical fees. Yes, she's going to owe anytime she's
Brooks is
on
funny
to
the
the
way that
clinic.
Sarah isn't. I agree.
Okay, you guys can't see it. I can see it. I was like, are they? Hold on.
I miss you, Mommy.
You miss me. I'm right here.
I miss you.
Okay.
Aw.
Do you need me to get the boogeyman?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, can you guys see that now?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes, we can see it.
So just to recap, modification petition alleges final judgment should be modified due to substantial change. She goes on to say, and I like how she's very specific, like in case this does get appeal, even before we get into all the other criteria, the fact that you can't do shared parenting, that is a substantial change. So we don't really need to like pick through. Yes, those are a nice bonus, but ma'am, do they have bunk beds for your son in the prison? Like,
No, there are no overnights
Mm-mm.
for children.
yeah.
I don't even. Well, I mean, we can talk about this after this or whatever, but I don't think there are going to be many visits.
No.
I don't either. I think after visit 1, that's a wrap.
Yeah, for everyone involved, except, I don't think that she'll have the courtesy of telling them that she's not going to. If they show up, I don't think she will. I think she's gonna. She sees them as the enemy now because, nothing is going to be good. There are going to be no good phone calls,
Right. Yeah.
in my opinion.
I mean, what do you guys think about her whole... I don't know. There's still some entitlement that hasn't gotten knocked down. Like, I wish she would say thank you to Brian or
Oh,
show
no.
any kind of gratitude.
No, that wouldn't-
Because without him, her stuff would have been out at the Salvation Army like week 2.
Mhm.
Do you know? He
Yeah.
took possession of her car. He took possession of her heirlooms, which I think
He
are
did.
just tomatoes.
Yeah, so much more than anyone else would have, and she has never thanked him for anything.
Right. I mean, imagine being divorced for so many years in 2018. It's 26. That's 8 years.
Mhm.
Girl, stop calling me. Honey,
Yeah.
that's going to fall on you. Get down.
No.
Like,
And
lose my number.
Yeah, I've said this a million times, but I'm sure there are a lot of women in that prison with her who would kill to have a Brian watching their child.
Yeah.
And all she does is complain.
She'll
Well,
never say thank
technically, they
you.
did kill someone to have a Brian.
Yeah.
She just is nasty, and when she says things like, he's alienating me. Ma'am, he's paying for all your calls. I don't know how much more inclusive he could be.
Alienating and then she got it to the point where she wanted the child to be basically alienated himself. Like Brian couldn't be around when they were talked.
Yeah, total
Yes.
privacy.
None of that is
Yes.
good.
I went through that with my children as well. It was like, you know, go hide somewhere so
Oh
your
my
mom can't hear
God.
what we're talking about. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's not something.
That's not normal.
That's not normal. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter's dad, he was super passive aggressive. So it was always something that had to be told to her.
Yeah.
And I would tell her, don't let your dad know I'll call him. Like,
Right.
what are
Yeah,
you talking about?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like Sarah, and I'm going to take the flack. I don't care. This is my 2 cents. Is scoped Brian out. She is too infatuated with his money, too infatuated with his parents' money. She had no intention of ever getting a job. She's not like, I'm going to be a career woman, because even her
No.
whole story about not going to uni because she didn't take the exams. Man, we don't take the exams in the 12th grade. We take them in the 11th. But you know what?
Mhm.
Take a skip year and
Yeah,
then come back.
you don't have to go straight there. Most people in college have a job that they work simultaneously while going to class. So having a job is not a reason not to go to, like, she just makes excuses.
I think that's
And
why she had the child also, because she obviously didn't really want to be a mother, you know.
Right.
Mm,
It was a status symbol. Something to like
And
play,
she
because
have
obviously
the child and
Brian's
never work again.
say that again.
The child was her way out of working
But for how long?
forever.
There's
Obviously.
a point where they have all day school.
Yeah,
Then
but
what would she
she's
do?
not. I don't think she thinks that far ahead into the future. Obviously.
Okay,
but
let's
she
hear
also
her.
probably didn't account for how much work the child is in and of
Clearly.
itself and
Yeah.
takes from you. She probably didn't realize because she had never had a child before.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone realizes that, but
Mm-mm.
you know, the difference is that they do it anyway. She, not so much.
Yeah, because you can never fully prepare, but she was just like, I don't even have to try.
Yeah.
Right. She resented it right away. She just wasn't down for all that.
The way that she began writing former husband and husband in quotation marks to me was just such disdain shown.
Yes.
That
So
there's never going to
immature.
be a thank you for Brian. There's never going to be a, hey, I appreciate you raising our son when I was unable to. You know, none of it, because she calls him quote unquote husband. He's
Yeah.
not your husband. He's your ex-husband. And she still looks at him as if he should own the duties of a husband, even though she's divorced from him. That's
Also,
what
what
that said to me.
she's saying by that is that he really wasn't much of a husband. He wasn't a good husband, you know, husband. If he calls you can call him that. And it's like he was really the best husband and you could possibly have.
Mm.
That's all.
Somebody says in the comments she treated Brian like an NBA player. That's gold. Thank you, Shank Hunter 420. Skank Hunter 420, even better. Yeah, I think that the former husband, the quotes, that to me was like, wow. You know, you can't appreciate anything. You just want more and more and more.
Yeah. Yeah, she never thanked Owens. I mean, that blew me away that she got up there to forgive everyone and didn't even say thank you to him. Like,
I'm surprised she didn't forgive him.
Yeah, well, maybe she has by now.
All right. Tanika is having some technical difficulties.
Okay.
Larry says that he paid for all his degrees through the military. That's true. Sarah could have went into the military. Of course, she has no discipline. She would have not made it. No, Larry, she would have not made it in the military. She might have enjoyed the drinking after work, but she would not have made it in the military.
She did not last in the real world more than 3 years before
She can't get up at 9 o'clock. Like, what kind of job is she
do
gonna have?
anything. I mean, she was divorced for what, 3 years that she was on her own living in that townhouse.
No, never. She always had George. They got divorced.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, from her parents, right, to Brian, to then being not even on her own, but
Right.
Brian was paying her bills and George was there. And then she killed George, and here we are. Didn't last very long.
Yeah. It's weird to like never have your own place too.
Yeah, and to be she's so dysfunctional and horrible.
Yeah. It's a shtick. It worked for her for what, 42 years?
I guess. And
I just didn't want her son to think, oh, this is a good woman. I mean, not to say that he should think his mom is bad, but like these are the attributes of someone that I want to marry.
And it's so smart, and it must be so hard for Brian to like basically give her the rope to hang herself, because he will see his mother as she is on his own terms.
Right.
Which is really the healthiest way to go about it.
Exactly. You have to let them experience it for themselves and come to their own conclusion.
Yeah, because they'll resent you otherwise. They won't be able to discern, was that my idea or did she put that? You know what I mean? Like, they've got to come to it on their own.
Right.
At least with my mom, any guy that she was like, no, I was like, oh, hell yeah. So it's like, what's it going to be? Okay, let's go back. I feel better for the son today. Actually, it was rough before. Like, it's so sad.
The party's minor child, quote, has lived exclusively, end quote, with petitioner since respondent's incarceration, and respondent, quote, does not have the financial need for alimony or child support, end quote. See modification petition at paragraph 3, number 7. Respondent filed a 9-page handwritten response, parenthesis, quote, modification answer, end quote, in parentheses, on May 16th, 2022, generally denying all of petitioner's requests for modification rather than responding to each paragraph of the modification petition. A, bold, substantial change in circumstances. 8.
Wait, before we go back, I just have to touch on this 9-page handwritten response denying all petitioners' requests for modification rather than responding to each. Why is it 9 pages? She just had 9 pages of a general rant instead of responding to each paragraph, like actually having a point. She was just like, blah.
As she does. She finds paper when she has to, I notice.
Oh, yeah. They give it to you for your legal girl. You know, I'm all in her business. They give you the paper and the pen for free if you have a legal case. Yeah. But it's crazy because does she think she's fooling us? Because clearly you're doing nothing. You just were like sent a general rant. Do you think is this where like when she told Kranick, you didn't answer questions? Is this some passive aggressive form of communication where you've said nothing and now I got to go ask you, what did you mean?
I don't know if she understands anything at all, really. I think she just talks to make herself feel better. I don't know.
But if you kept doing something and you wanted to enjoy it, wouldn't you figure out like the rules so you don't have this drama every time? This can't work.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fair to say that talking about ourselves, there are a lot of things we would do differently. Like, look at the situation she's in.
Right.
The kind of person and the amount of stupidity you have to get to this point.
That's it. I don't want it to be that stupid. I still see like you're not a straight A student.
You couldn't be. Yeah.
Wait.
Just even this whole thing, she made this, she got herself, she's lucky to get what she did out of this.
Right.
She's going to end up with almost anything. Nothing, I mean.
But I don't think that would have been it for her. Like, that would have been the court paper. But then because the son would have moved out. It's something in it for her. You can't be this stupid for no reason. Like, she's doing some hocus pocus.
Because for Sarah, it's not about what's right. My dad used to always say, it's not about who's right. It's about what's right with me and my siblings, right? So it's not about who's wrong and who's right. It's about what is the right thing to do. Sarah doesn't see that. Sarah sees I'm right, and I need to make everyone understand why just I'm right.
But do you think she's having or had some sort of prolonged sexual relationship? Because who do you just write and demand stuff? Like, you're in prison, ma'am. Nobody has to listen to you. Who are you?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is somebody who went into her interrogation acting like she was one of the investigators.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think she's just been coddled her entire life.
That's all.
And to court, like she was one of the lawyers.
I mean,
and
the fact that
she wanted snacks.
Proudly said that she created pretend judge to a judge.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
to
crazy.
A seasoned attorney. Cashman is a badass. She doesn't need Sarah coaching her.
Snotty attitude. I don't know why she doesn't like me.
Just tell her to be nice to me. Girl, this is not McDonald's where the customer is always right.
And it wouldn't help. Anyway. Be nice to you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so she had the substantial change in circumstances.
It is undisputed that respondent has been incarcerated since February 25th, 2020. Subsequent to the filing of the modification petition, respondent was convicted of second-degree murder, and she was sentenced to life in prison. Number 9. It is also undisputed that since respondent's incarceration in February 2020, respondent has not exercised any regular time sharing. C. Florida statute, section 61.30, parenthesis 11, paren C, paren quote, a parent's failure to regularly exercise the time sharing schedule set forth in the parenting plan, ellipse, shall be deemed, emphasized, a substantial change of circumstances for purposes of modifying the child support award, end quote, emphasis added. Number 10.
Okay, oh my God, I'm talking fast. And I was explaining so if she is, what do you guys think her end goal was? Just to get the $62,000, have her son come, like just totally run roughshod over Brian every day of his life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. It's pure control.
She wants to stick it to Brian.
What did he do? Not drag the body out?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. That's why she called him before 911.
Right.
So he's got to pay for the rest of his life?
It's not what he did, it's what he didn't do. He didn't give her
smart
money
man.
whenever
She
she
wanted him to
needed
tear
it.
down.
He didn't not sell her Kia Sorento.
Right.
It was in
She wanted him to go down with her.
2011. This happened in 2010. It was almost 10 years old. How long was she going to keep it? Where was she going?
Not far.
She just wanted to nag him.
Yes.
My car, where's my car? What's the neighbor's name? I need his phone number. I need to check on my car. Like, who's starting it every day? Who's, getting a rotation on the tires and the oil? Ma'am, she wasn't doing that when she was out.
And can you imagine
Meanwhile,
if the returned?
I was
She didn't do
Brian.
anything for him.
I would have funded tablet messaging and video attachments so that I could send her a video of the car being towed off my driveway.
Oh my God. But you know what, Suma? Even if she didn't do anything, to her, there's nothing wrong with that because she wasn't doing anything before. Oh, no big deal.
Right. Yeah.
Now she can have, a Dr. Pepper and a cigarette.
But I mean, like, and I being in jail and I this and I that. And her brother was in jail. She never contacted him, I'm sure.
I'm sure too.
She wasn't a very good
Girl,
at
she
staying in
that
touch with her
extra
other
money
brother. Yeah.
for the handles or the whatever.
Yeah. She's just a horrible person. I mean, there's a reason she has no friends and no family that talks to her.
I wonder how long she's gonna make it in there. I mean, I don't wish any ill will, but it's like
No, me neither.
she's
I would like to
hard.
live a very, very, very long.
120.
I hope she has a nice, long, natural life.
In anticipation of the entry of the original final judgment, respondent made financial disclosures that she was receiving unemployment benefits and in search of a job, and she alleged $5,293.83 in monthly expenses, leaving her with a financial deficit of $4,521. See MSA at paragraph 5 and respondent's financial affidavit 2018 financial affidavit filed on May 9th, 2018 at section 228 number.
So that's May 9th, 28. He doesn't, I think that's the I said his name. If it's at the beginning of when that first payment is going to be made, why is she, I mean, first of all, she's lying, obviously. You have $5,000 in expenses and you only have $1,000, you're in deficit $4,000 every month. Did she go to the Corey Richens finance school?
She did.
A financial deficit. She basically only has $1,000 for you every month, ma'am.
Correct.
That sounds crazy. Oh my God, that's like $250 a week. That doesn't make sense.
But she also had a lump sum in the final divorce where he paid her.
He paid the $22,000 for the credit card. She only had $10,000 in equity on the house, but he was paying his half of the credit card. So she should not have taken that 22 and been like, party over here. She should have taken it and paid off her credit card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like
She
reckless.
Hear me out.
What's that? Oh, is he here? I can't see him on the other screen.
When did she get that 20? When they divorced? Or
yeah, June of 2018.
Right. Yeah, that's when she bought George the bike and the engagement ring.
She would have gotten, because she got 22 from that, and then what was it? Oh, for the house, she got 10,000 for her equity in the house. They were upside down in their home.
But she may have just been living off of that until it ran out, instead of using it to pay her debt or whatever.
So when was she getting this job to help with the $4,000 monthly deficit?
About the same time she was going to quit drinking, I think.
Oh my God. But I know she had 2 jobs while she was with George, because the night she strangled him, she was like, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I think it might have been a new job.
That a couple hours ago.
You did what?
She should have thought of that a couple hours prioristically.
Right.
Correct.
So she had that, and then there was another thing where she was wasting money. And it was like, just go somewhere else, ma'am.
Yeah.
She likes drama. That's in her DNA.
Very much so, yes.
Can't be simple. It's got to be dramatic.
That's why everything to her is a battle. Like, she's so dramatic, like pick up the sword of injustice. They crawled away from the battlefield.
Right. Never surrender.
Yeah. Just like.
She likes being the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
She wants someone to come rescue her out of every adult responsibility.
That's right.
Yeah. I feel like she's, damn girl, you in distress again?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Good girl.
Yeah, she's where Let me hit play.
11. Undoubtedly, neither party contemplated respondents' arrest and incarceration when their MSA was entered and their parenting plan was agreed upon. Number 12. The court finds that at best, respondents' reasonable monthly expenses since incarceration total $145. See respondent's financial affidavit filed on May 30th, 2025 at page 8, footnote 2. Footnote 2 reads, this amount includes $16.67 for clothing, based on respondent's admission on cross-examination that $50 clothing expense is charged quarterly, $15 for medical dental expenses, $70 for hygiene and writing items, based on respondent's testimony that the prison does not pay for basic hygiene items like all-in-one shampoo, body wash, toothbrushes, and toothpaste. I think that may be incorrect, says the reader. And $43.33 based on testimony of a $5 cost for a 30-minute call and allocating 2 calls per week. The court does not find credible respondent's testimony that she needs $250 per month for snacks because of her stomach not handling meals, quote, properly, end quote. She admitted on cross-examination that the prison provides free breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She provided no competent, substantial evidence of any medical issues resulting in, quote, low blood sugar, end quote, that would necessitate the need for snacks between her free meals. Further,
Wait, before we go to the rant, ma'am, why do you need this? What is your food situation? What doctor have you spoken to? And she hasn't even told the judge she doesn't eat breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
I think she might eat breakfast now. I don't know.
You think so?
Maybe.
Oh,
Well, you know,
God.
I remember that the reason they didn't eat breakfast at the jail was because it's really early and you're not allowed to talk during breakfast.
Mm.
I heard an interview with someone who was in that, or maybe it was on Reddit, someone who was in that jail and was like, nobody eats breakfast because it's dumb early and you can't talk when you're eating breakfast.
Yeah, I think they said like 4:30, but can't you just take it with you?
I think it's brought to their
Probably
room.
not.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So they probably don't want to get up at 4 in the morning. They probably sleep through it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I would too.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm sure it's
I'm not getting up at 4:30 for some cold oatmeal. Forget it.
Right. Yeah, powdered eggs.
I'll wait till lunch.
Yeah.
I like how she put low blood sugar, quote unquote.
Yeah, to necessitate the need for snacks between her meals.
Yeah.
Free meals.
Identify to which creditors she was making payments, and she denied owing the Department of Corrections $50. While mother listed a, quote, gifts, end quote, expense, the court found credible father's testimony that he purchases most gifts for the child on behalf of mother, and both parties acknowledge that that father pays for all calls between mother and the child. Narrator is interjecting because I think this might go over people's heads. This $43 includes her call money. So she'll be given that as part of her $145. When she runs out, she will not be able to call, or she will have to cough up her own money. 13. As such, substantial competent evidence supports petitioner's claim of a substantial change in circumstances. See Hembry v. Thomas, 906 Southern 2nd, 321, Florida 1st District Court of Appeals, 2005, finding that, quote, incarceration clearly constituted a substantial change in circumstances, end quote, in paren. Nagel v. Nagel, 286 South 3rd District 377, 379 through 80, Florida 4th District Court of Appeals 2019, quote, a key factor in determining whether a modification is warranted is determining whether, after the final judgment is entered, the parties, quote, financial abilities have changed.
I have an unhappy little one. I think this goes to, you have to have something. You can't just keep coming back whenever you're dissatisfied. Like there has to be a substantial, because I think that's for the drama queens.
Yeah.
End quote. In paren. B, parenting plan modification. Petitioner seeks to modify the final judgment by awarding him sole parental responsibility, decision-making authority, and 100% time sharing, end quote. See modification petition at paragraph 4. 15, at the final hearing, father proposed mother have 1 monthly visit and 1 weekly call with child. Mother objected to father's request for sole parental responsibility, and she requested an unspecified number of phone calls and personal space without interference, as well as one to two in-person visits for the maximum time allowed, holiday visits, and, quote, perpetual cooperation, end quote, from father.
That was Sarah's wording. Perpetual cooperation. Like, what does that mean? And is she going to be writing a contempt order if he doesn't cooperate?
Perpetual cooperation is like profuse apologies.
She just wants him to do exactly what she tells him to do.
Naturally.
If she says leave the room, she wants him to not question her and leave the room. She wants him to never question her parental capacities, even though she's
everything for
for life.
her should be unlimited, and everything for him should be limited to what she feels it should be limited to.
Correct.
What is it that she has the 10 days to do?
Somebody was saying appeal, so she has to write a written appeal in 10 days. I don't know. I haven't
actually
vetted that. But
yeah, I guess she can. She can try, but
But if she does, she loses the visitation. It puts everything back to where it was. I mean, not loses it, but it's back on hold.
But remember what she told her brother in the tablet messages about, but it's my right. She knew she wasn't going to get the bond, but she had to go for it because it was her right. Or it's like her mentality is so messed up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't believe that she really thought she wasn't going to get it. But it's true. She does these things just to be a pain in the ass, really.
Yeah.
It seems. I don't know. She thrives on that. Like, she loves to fight.
Can't wave that white flag. So this is Forever Wonder. She says, fortunately, Judge J reserves the right to change the visitation. And she made a note about the child. So they'll just arrange that if he decides he does. Yeah, because she retained jurisdiction. I noticed that at the bottom. So it's coming back to her. She's already familiar with it. She's not leaving it up to chance. So if Sarah wants to act a fool, she probably is going to lose those visitation or do a video because he hasn't seen you in person in 6 years anyway, boo-boo.
Yeah.
Okay.
16, the court has heard the testimony of the parties, examined the demeanor, body language, and overall credibility and ability to show self-insight and awareness of the issues pertaining to shared parenting and time-sharing issues, and examined evidence related to the issue of the contested time sharing for the minor child. In determining the best interests of the child, the court makes these findings as to the factors affecting the welfare and interests of the minor child and the circumstances of the family as follows. A, Underscored the demonstrated capacity and disposition of each parent to facilitate and encourage a close and continuing parent-child relationship, to honor the time-sharing schedule, and to be reasonable when changes are required. End underscore. Due to her incarceration,
I think I say it later, but just in case not, the underline part is what she's pulling from the statute. And then this with no underline is her response. And then if there's not like a yay or a nay, or it'll be like not applicable.
And life sentence, mother has been and continues to be unable to honor the time sharing schedule implemented by the parties' parenting plan and the final judgment. The child was able to have virtual visitation with mother when she was incarcerated at the Orange County Jail, but she has since been relocated to a prison in Marion County. Father testified that he has paid for all telephone calls between mother and the child. According to father, there are times when the child is visibly upset after speaking with mother on the telephone because of the way mother talks to the child. B,
Wait, before we go too far. The way I think he said the plethora of emotions you corrupt,
Yes.
which is like epic. It was beautifully said.
It was. I was impressed by that.
Yeah. And what could she say?
Well, nothing, because she doesn't understand any of those words.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Anticipated vision, underscore all this, of parental responsibilities after the litigation, including the extent to which parental responsibilities will be delegated to third parties. No shade, all tea. Since mother's arrest in February
The third parties, because that came up at it's in here like 3 times. I mean, I'm sure it could also be her brother, etc., but I immediately thought of flying monkeys.
Yeah.
Yes.
2020, father has undertaken 100% of the parental responsibilities for the minor child. C, underscored the demonstrated capacity and disposition of each parent to determine, consider, and act upon the needs of the child as opposed to the needs or desires of the parent. The court notes that mother continued to contest the relocation petition and subsequent motion for temporary relocation, despite the intense local media coverage of her murder trial. Despite the child being bullied in school in Orange County. See order on motion for temporary relocation filed on March 6, 2023. Quote, temporary relocation order, end quote. Entered on April 5th, 2023 at paragraph E, A through B. See also at paragraph E, F. Finding mother did not have an articulable reason as to why she opposed relocation.
Okay, so the judge is telling on Sarah, you're selfish. Your son is being bullied. It's a high profile. And you, for no reason at all, not any that you could articulate, are just saying no because you want control.
Because you don't care.
Right. Even in her letters when she was like, well, where would I go? And they have to be here. Why do they have to move? And I think she called herself snitch and she was like, well, he said, he's moving closer to the prison. I'm still innocent. Like the dialogue in her mind is like, cuckoo, cuckoo.
Yeah, that was when Brian thought he was a soothsaying was a job.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But she put it all out there, and I like how the judge, like you can tell the judge has been getting familiar with the letters. I feel like she knows them like we know them, and we've been on it a while.
Yeah, I was talking to my best friend last night, and we were like, I feel like she really fell down the rabbit hole.
She did.
Down there.
How could you not? It's fascinating because it's like, is this person for real?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, and the rabbit hole is so deep.
D, the length of time the child has lived in a stable, satisfactory environment and the desirability of maintaining continuity. Since mother's arrest in February 2020, the minor child has lived with father 100% of the time. E. The geographic viability of the parenting plan, with special attention paid to the needs of school-aged children and the amount of time to be spent traveling to effectuate the parenting plan. The parties disagree as to how many phone calls and prison visits the child should have with mother. Father contends that it is a 1 hour, 20-minute drive from his home and the facility where mother is currently incarcerated. Mother estimates that it is a 50-minute drive. However, the court finds father's testimony on the travel time more credible, as mother has never driven from the father's home to the jail, and mother's 50-minute estimate appears to be a generalization of travel between Ocala and where father and son reside, without taking into consideration of traffic and the actual distances. Without taking into consideration of traffic and the actual distances between destinations.
Okay, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
She wants him to spend all day because Sarah asked for as many hours as possible. The judge limited it to 2. But you have your teenage son on the road, hour and 20. You wanted them there all the hours of the day. Then they got to go back an hour and 20. Like, that's a whole day event.
She doesn't care how long they have to travel. She doesn't care how much of their time she takes up on a weekend. She doesn't care how much the phone calls cost. She will now, of course. But it's only 13 cents a minute. It's only 50-minute drive.
Everything. And you agreed to it, right? When you signed up for it, you agreed to the 13 cents?
Yeah, right.
You knew how much it was when you signed up for the account so that our son could talk to me.
And he's like, well, I had no choice. And there you go.
Right. Yeah, you can't decline it and take the call.
You know?
So would you have preferred he didn't take the call?
Well, now she can pay for it. So,
but why can't she ever say thank you to Brian?
I've never heard her say thank you to anyone except for on the phone when she's like, thank you. I appreciate you so much. You know, when she's just doing that thing.
Right.
After.
But these are your children. This man, I mean, it's his too, but do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but
you want to show that person all the gratitude. I just don't get it.
She doesn't care about her child. I mean, it hurts me to even say it, but she doesn't care about her child.
She really doesn't. She cares about what it can bring to her, what being his mother can bring to her.
Yeah.
Right.
By proxy.
I hope he's in therapy. I really do. Good Lord. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
F. The moral fitness of the parents. Father has raised concerns regarding mother's inability to show genuine and accountability or remorse for her actions that led to her conviction for second-degree murder and subsequent sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. G. The mental and physical health of the parents. There was no evidence presented as to...
Sorry. The moral fitness, you know she's losing it.
Yeah.
Because she somehow thinks she's an upstanding citizen.
Above average inmate, role model.
Yeah, on the phone call, she talks down about all the other inmates as if she doesn't belong there with them.
Yeah.
There's like a word added or missing, but I'm not exactly sure, but it says mother's inability to show genuine remorse, maybe, and accountability.
Or,
no, because remorse is here,
it's got to be genuine remorse.
Okay.
Or something like that, but that's not written properly.
Right, right. But it's like, so even the judge can tell after that short amount of time, like, father's raised it, but the judge doesn't add like a narrative. I don't find father credible. Do you know?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
He knows. Like, the judge knows, everybody, but Sarah's convinced that she's fooling them.
Well, I like how she pointed out that Sarah had never driven from the prison to Brian's house.
Right.
Like Brian's a better. Also, Sarah can't get on Google Maps and check the time either. She's just guesstimating in her head.
Right.
And
Yeah.
traffic wouldn't occur to her because who cares?
Right.
So there's
Yeah,
traffic.
she just wanted to make it seem easier, like Brian was pretending to be put on.
Yeah, I think it must have been meant to be genuine accountability and remorse, like you said. It must
Mhm.
that must have been what it was. So
Yeah. I don't know. Did they dictate to GPT? I mean, I'm fine with it, but I'm
I
just
don't
like, it
know.
seems there's a weird pattern.
Yeah, there are always so many typos in these legal things. I'm always so surprised.
Yeah. But it doesn't feel like a human made it, which makes it
No.
strange. Why won't
Yeah.
this let me? Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. Here we go.
This factor. H, the home, school, and community record of the child. The child currently attends high school in his town and is enrolled in a biotech magnet program. The school is located 11 miles from father's home, and father is responsible for 100% of the child's transportation to and from school. I, the reasonable preference of the child. If the court deems the child to be of sufficient intelligence, understanding, and experience to express a preference. In A. So the things that are underscored, underlined, is they're being snipped from the criteria that the judge has to consider. So that's why they're here. And then she puts the logic that she applied immediately after. So NA is here because it's not applicable. Makes sense, right?
Mhm.
Why didn't she consider it though? Why did she think it was not applicable? The reasonable preference of the child. If the court deems the child to be of sufficient intelligence, understanding, and experience, do you think maybe there's an age cutoff, and so you have to be X amount of years old in order to like have sufficient intelligence, understanding, and experience?
I do know most states have an age. It's usually 13, 14, but it also depends on the maturity of the child. But I think they put NA just because the judge didn't consult with the child in chambers.
I wanted her to, though. Why do you think she didn't want to do that?
Because it's disruptive to the child. They don't want to, the court's open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 kind of hours. So those are school hours. So the child would miss school to go all the way to Orange County when they're in a different county now. And, it would be disruptive to the judge wants to prioritize the best interest of the child, which I know this is a huge deal.
Right.
But they don't like to pull them out of school. They don't like to,
Maybe involve them at all. I don't know.
Parents for that, for bringing
I've
a child
watched
to
too
court.
much Matlock. I was thinking like the child would go in there and sit in the big chair and talk to the man about how it was going. The man being a judge. That's what I am imagining. Like you just go in there and you tell them everything.
I think it's more like if one parent is saying, oh, this parent is being abusive to the child, and the other parent is saying, no, I didn't, then they would talk to the child directly to kind of get their version. But I don't think
Right.
Brian and Sarah are talking about anything that the child would necessarily know all the details of.
I
Yeah.
hope not.
I mean, Brian,
Sometimes she hates him. You can tell by the answers that she gives,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
she's
she
the
also
worst.
doesn't want to ask him things that are uncomfortable for him to talk about and make him, she probably wouldn't do it that
Yeah.
way. I'm sure she
No,
would do
but
it in a,
still, that's like vulnerable. Yeah.
yeah.
Brian did tell her that he would like it if he could just decide when and how often he'd see her and talk to her,
Mhm.
which was smart of him to say, because at least he let her know.
And when we get to the visitation part, I like how she didn't specify that he had to go, X amount of times a year. It was just flexible according to the child. So she really is
Right.
thinking about what is good for the child. If the child wants to see her, he can choose to go see her. If the child is busy, he's allowed to be busy. It's not
Right.
Sarah being prioritized.
Yeah. And I think Judge Jackson, I bet, has a pretty good idea of how this is all going to go down, which is one of the reasons why Sarah pays for the calls.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And I think it's like good practice too. I don't know. It seems like Sarah has just been someone will figure it out for me.
Yeah.
And now she's being forced to be accountable.
She worked so hard to not do any work. It's like she doesn't do anything at all.
But a couple of these like responses, Judge Jackson has got her number, you know?
Absolutely.
She see like right through her.
Mm-hmm.
Where Tyler says
The
speaking
demonstrated
of
knowledge,
Matlock,
capacity, and disposition of each parent to be informed of the circumstances of the minor child, including but not limited to the child's friends, teachers, medical care providers, daily activities, and favorite things. There was no evidence presented as to this factor. K, the demonstrated capacity and disposition of each parent to provide a consistent routine for the child, such as discipline and daily schedules for homework, meals, and bedtime. There was no evidence presented as to this factor. L, the demonstrated capacity of each parent to communicate with and keep the other parent informed of issues and activities regarding the minor child, and the willingness of each parent to adopt a unified front on all major issues when dealing with the child. There exists a vexing communications problem between the parties due to mother's incarceration. Father is unable to pick up the phone and call mother to discuss day-to-day parenting.
Before we get to the communication problem and what in the heck is this? Wait, honey. The being able to pick up the phone. I mean, maybe it's for Sarah because clearly that can't happen.
yeah, he can't call in demand to talk to her.
Right.
Right, but she kind of made a big deal about it. Like, Brian, would you even know what my work hours are? Like, it doesn't matter. You're still in prison. You're
Gotta
working.
call me. Like,
yeah,
what are you rushing to the hospital?
He's like, no.
But that's her craziness. If it's a real emergency, the last thing I'm gonna do is stop and call someone who there's nothing they can do and they're slowing me down.
Also, the fact, let's say there was a way to reach her, whatever it is. How is it his fault that he doesn't know? Wouldn't you, as the mother, say, if anything ever happens, do this?
Or with all her letter writing, since she hasn't written him a letter, as it says in this paragraph, couldn't she have just written down, this is how you get in touch with me. These are the hours you can call. This is the department where I'll be. None of that.
No, it's all his fault that he never asked.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he ask her what her work hours are? What's the difference? She's not going to run over to the emergency room and...
Exactly. Oh my God. And I mean, maybe it's a little city, but if I'm calling the prison, I'm not thinking about, I'm calling the workroom or the whatever. Like, just get her on the phone.
It's just ridiculous. Like, that's what happens when you kill someone, you go to prison for life. You're not available anymore and you never were. So what's the difference?
Yeah, what is the difference?
Decision-making issues. This makes it difficult for the parties to confer with each other so that major decisions, affecting the welfare of the child will be determined jointly and expeditiously. According to father, he sometimes receives calls from mother asking him to buy things for the child or yelling at him. Father also testified that he has not received any letters from mother in 4 years. Evidence of domestic violence, sexual violence, child abuse, child abandonment, or child neglect, or evidence that a parent has or has had reasonable cause to believe that he or she or his or her minor child or children are in imminent danger of becoming victims of an act of domestic violence, regardless of whether a prior or pending action relating to those issues has been brought. There was no evidence presented as to this factor. Evidence that either parent has knowingly provided false information to the court regarding any prior or pending action regarding domestic violence, sexual violence, child abuse, child abandonment, or child neglect. There was no evidence presented as to this factor. The particular parenting task customarily performed by each parent and the division of parental responsibilities before the institution of litigation and during the pending litigation, including the extent to which parenting responsibilities were undertaken by third parties. While the final judgment provided the parents were to have 50-50 time sharing, father estimates
That's all those who fly for her, the third party parenting, who Brian has never met, has never signed off on, doesn't know them from Adam, and they have his home address and are sending his son gifts.
Yeah.
Strangers that their mother, who's incarcerated for murder, met on the internet.
Or whilst incarcerated.
Right. Good Lord.
that mother exercised 30% of the time sharing. He testified that mother's time sharing was, quote, sporadic, end quote. And she saw the child whenever she felt like it, quote unquote. According to father, there were nights where he got calls to come pick up the child because mother had started drinking. It's in their original marriage agreement that she's not meant to drink around the child, if you guys haven't seen that. P, the demonstrated capacity and disposition of each parent to participate and be involved in the child's school and extracurricular activities. Due to her incarceration, mother has been unable to participate in the child's school and extracurricular activities. Q, the demonstrated capacity and disposition of each parent to maintain an environment for the child which is free from substance abuse. There was no evidence presented as to this factor. The capacity and disposition of each parent to protect the child from the ongoing litigation as demonstrated by not
Also, that's how Brian wasn't trying to screw her, right? Because he could have been like, she was drunk before she got arrested. She's been drunk ever since. She never had her amount of the time. Like, he could have gone in and he just, stayed silent.
He touched upon it, didn't he? I mean...
He did, but there are specific words in here.
He really could have. I would have leaned into it. He's a better man than I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have told it all.
Oh yeah, forget it. I'm so happy that in that body cam, that's one of the first things he said when they asked him about her on the day of the incident.
Discussing the litigation with the child, not sharing documents or electronic media related to the litigation with the child, and refraining from disparaging comments about the other parent to the child. There was no evidence presented as to the parties discussing the current modification proceeding with the minor child. But mother testified that father has called her a killer and murder in front of the child. There's a lot of typos. I'm not talking about them because I'm here for the substance and not the style. But this one, I wish they would have got it right. Killer is what
wrong.
she said.
Whatever would have gotten us to kill
Maybe
her.
they couldn't believe what they heard. I will never forget it. S, the developmental stages and needs of the child and the demonstrated capacity and disposition of each parent to meet the child's developmental needs. The child is 14 years old at the time of the meeting. Currently, the child is 15. Enrolled in a magnet program and involved in extracurricular activities. T, any other factor that is relevant to the determination of a specific parenting plan, including the time sharing schedule. Father testified that mother has not been involved in any major decisions regarding the minor child. Also, he has no idea how to contact mother to get her input on issues involving the child. He testified that over the past 6 months, I feel like, and I'm not going to do commentary, but I feel like they should have put in, he knows he can write her a letter. And then there is this sort of hanging of that's not real time, right? 3 days to get to her, 3 days to get back, assuming he has the correct address, etc. He testified that over the past 6 months, mother's calls have been off and on. He described there being months of tons of calls, but other weeks with none. He also expressed concerns about mother's decision-making, including the circumstances leading to her arrest and conviction for second-degree murder. How many times does it appear, her head's gonna spin off? According to him, he doesn't think she makes good decisions. Notwithstanding his concerns, father testified he does not mind mother giving her input on decisions regarding the child's education, health, and other major decisions. But he believes sole parental responsibility is in the child's best interest given mother's current circumstances. 17. Upon evaluating the factors above, it is in the best interest of the child that father shall have sole authority to make major decisions for the child. It is detrimental to the child to have shared parental responsibility for the following reasons. Mother's current incarceration with a sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. Mother's sporadic calls and father's inability to call mother to discuss parenting issues. 18. It is in the child's best interest for father to have 100% time sharing with the minor child. 19. The court further finds that a flexible visitation schedule for mother is in the child's best interest of the child due to his age, current school schedule, extracurricular activity commitments, and the distance between the child's home and the prison where mother is currently incarcerated. C. Alimony termination / modification. 20. Petitioner also seeks the, quote, termination of the durational alimony, end quote, or, quote, that the alimony be reduced or at least suspended, end quote, during respondent's incarceration. See modification petition at paragraph 5. It says suspended during incarceration because this was filed in 22 when she was still in jail with a hearing or with a trial 2 years pending. 21. At the final hearing, respondent argued she needs alimony to buy gifts for the party's child, and she is, quote, legally entitled, end quote, to alimony. However, neither party waived their statutory right to seek modification or termination of the alimony award. See final judgment at paragraph 8. The alimony amount is modifiable upon a showing of a substantial change in circumstances. See also Florida statute section 61.088A. The amount of an award of durational alimony may be modified or terminated, in bold, based upon a substantial change in circumstances. Emphasis added. 22. The court finds that respondent.
I wanted to give you guys some breathing room to talk. I have a minor crisis that I'm having.
Okay.
So I love the flexible schedule there that she just said it should be based on the child's needs, not certain amount of visits a month like Sarah wanted.
Yeah. I also like that she puts in quotes that Sarah told her that she has a legal right to alimony or whatever it was.
Yes.
Because Sarah likes to tell the judge what's up.
As she does everyone in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's the kind of person that you want to say, well, why don't you just clock in and come work here then, since you know more about what I do than I do, you know?
Yeah. I want to say to her, what makes you think that you are in a position where you should be telling a judge what's legal? Like,
correct.
I just don't understand that at all.
Well, and she keeps going back to she didn't understand the whole time that they were having this hearing on August 25th. The judge kept saying, we're here to discuss the modification. And she kept going back to, well, in our agreement in 2018, it says, and he's violating it, but we're here to discuss modifying it. Like she couldn't get that through her head.
He's violating it?
Yeah.
You know, like.
Right. When was the last time you picked up the child for visitation?
Right. Just.
Or fed the child or any of the things that you were responsible for doing.
Anything.
Nothing. You just gripe about your car and your rights and you're the mother. I still have input. I'm the mother. Yeah. And I'm sure they're thrilled. They're thrilled at the lottery they won, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. She's going to be talking about that car forever.
Oh my gosh.
It's never going to be over. And she's just going to get more and more bitter, I guess. And I don't know.
Is that even possible?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Why aren't they getting her psychological evaluations? Because I feel like when all this is over, her actual, she's so far from reality. That's gonna be, she's gonna be in bad shape.
I think they know that her type of personality can't really benefit from. She can't be honest to herself or anyone, and nothing changed. Like, if you can't do that, then therapy is completely useless.
Yeah. And would she even be cooperative? Like, would she
Isn't
participate or
Nothing
go?
wrong with her.
No. And they kind of did during the criminal trial have the two experts kind of evaluate her, but
And
that's
they had
probably
her
as far as
intake
they
eval,
got.
which I thought, from if memory serves, was
Mm.
really the best we heard, because they said that she's not in touch with reality. They said that she has like grandiosity. Everything that they said, they really nailed it.
Yeah.
She does have grandiosity. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Has zero income due to her involuntary incarceration. I feel like her incarceration was wholly voluntary, and that her reasonable monthly expenses or reasonable need has been reduced to $145. 23. By stipulation, the court finds that petitioner's gross monthly income is $5,000 and he has the ability to pay alimony. 24. Because respondent still has a need for economic assistance, petitioner's request for termination or suspension, footnote 3, of his alimony obligation is denied. Footnote 3. Respondent is currently sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As such, petitioner's request to suspend his alimony obligation while
Do you
petitioner
guys
is
think that'll be the
incarcerated.
first time? Do you guys think that'll be the first time Sarah actually hears it's without parole? Or do you think she's figured it out by now?
Oh, that's a good question. She's never really mentioned it because she's so focused on her appeal.
Well, some of the calls lately, she's been like, "Oh, Florida's bringing parole back, and I'm gonna go get parole."
Yeah, they just passed.
She doesn't know if she has natural life. Like Kranik was so in a rush to get off.
No one ever explained it to her what her sentence was. No one ever told her
she had the governor. I'm sure he can explain it.
DeSantis does not want to talk to her.
Can you imagine the one-sentence letter she would get from him?
Is effectively requesting a termination of the alimony. See Florida statute section 61.088A expressly stating that the purpose of durational alimony is, quote, to provide a party with economic assistance for a set period of time following a marriage, ellipse, end quote. 25. However, petitioner's request for a downward modification of his alimony obligation effective May 1, 2020 is granted. 26. For the remaining 36 months of the 84 period for durational alimony, the alimony obligation shall be modified downward to $145 per month for a total of $5,220. 36 times 145. Respondent is entitled to total alimony arrears of $20,220. See footnote 4. Footnote 4. Petitioner admits that he did not make any alimony payments for the 15 months before filing the modification petition for a total of $15,000 in missed payments. D. Child support modification. 28. Father also seeks the termination of child support retroactive to the date of mother's arrest because his child support obligation was based on the equal time sharing schedule outlined in the parenting plan and on the financial abilities of the parties at that time. See modification petition at paragraph 6. 29. It is undisputed that mother stopped exercising time sharing with the minor child upon her arrest on February 25th, 2020. 30. After over 3 years of litigation, mother finally conceded during the final hearing that father's child support obligation should be terminated given her incarceration and exercise of 0 overnights. 31. During the final hearing, father testified that the clerk was holding approximately $4,000 in child support payments because the clerk.
Oh, Tanika, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
Of course I am. The 3 years thing was crazy. Like, it took you 3 years to figure out Brian needed the money.
Yeah.
I love the word finally. The mother finally conceded after 3 years. That is
Yes.
a beautiful placement.
Now,
there.
what is so good is that it's really going to piss her off. Like, I keep thinking about that term when his attorney used the term chaos in one of his motion or one of his letters. Remember that she incited chaos or something like that, and it drove her crazy. She used that word several times to try to snap back at him, and there's going to be a lot in this that bothers her.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did not have information and or an address to where the child support payments could be made to mother. Mother agreed that all such funds being held by the clerk of courts should be returned to father. 32. Petitioner's request to terminate his child support obligation effective February 25th, 2020 is hereby granted. See Florida statute section 61.30 11C, quote, a modification pursuant to a parent's failure to regularly exercise the time sharing schedule set forth in the parenting plan is retroactive to the date the non-custodial parent first failed to regularly exercise the court-ordered or agreed time-sharing schedule. Emphasis added. Just a note, the child support is triggered by the action, whereas the alimony is triggered by the filing. So the reason why the alimony doesn't go back to Feb 25 is because he hadn't filed. But as soon as she stopped the activity, that is what triggered the alteration in time share. The new child support arrears balance is 0, effective April 7th, 2026. 2, Roman numeral 2, relocation petition. 34, in his relocation petition, petitioner seeks to permanently relocate from Orlando to where he lives now because of respondent's incarceration for second-degree murder, the child being bullied at school, and respondent having 0 overnights over the past 3 years. See relocation petition at paragraph 3. It's actually over the past 5 years, right? Because she hasn't had it since 2020. I don't know why that says that. 35. On February 23rd, 2023, respondent filed a handwritten response, quote, relocation answer, to the, end quote, to the relocation petition wherein she objected to the relocation. See relocation answer at paragraph 1. 36. Notwithstanding her objection, on April 5th, 2023, the court entered its temporary relocation order, wherein the court permitted permissioner to temporarily relocate to where petitioner lives now. See temporary relocation order at paragraph 2. 37. Respondent continued to contest the permanent relocation and did not stipulate to the permanent relocation until the final hearing. 38. The court finds that the permanent relocation to where petitioner lives now is in the best interest of the minor child, especially in light of mother's current incarceration in Ocala. 39. As such, the relocation petition is granted by agreement of the parties. Roman numeral 3, motion for contempt. 40. Although most of her motion involved respondent writing about her displeasure with the court's ruling permitting temporary relocation over her objection, respondent does not state she is seeking to obtain missed delinquent, or diminished alimony payments. See option for contempt at page 1. What is the remedy she was looking for? She just kind of fetched. 41. Petitioner acknowledges that he did not pay $15,000 in alimony for 15 months between respondent's arrest and the filing of his modification petition. 42. While petitioner acknowledges that he stopped making alimony payments after respondent's arrest, petitioner testified that he did not pay alimony because after respondent's incarceration, he had nowhere to send the alimony payments. He helped move items from petitioner's apartment upon her incarceration. He paid for storage unit for her items, and he made $600 worth of direct.
That part confuses me. Like, what was he paid for the storage unit, he paid for all those things. Like, did she think that was going to go on indefinitely until trial?
It's not specific, and I didn't look at the financial thing that he posted. Did he have any kind of receipts of that he?
No.
He never submitted anything like concrete to show, I would have submitted all those storage unit receipts or whatever I deposited into her account. I would have put that in there. This is what I was able to send her, so this is what I did.
Yeah.
I would have had my receipts because I want credit for every dollar.
He didn't, actually.
I think they didn't want to seem too aggressive. Like, Brian's testimony is direct evidence, right? I think if they would have had all of those, because it's going to take a long time. We see them go through, like, you got to authenticate. It's a long time to go through. What would that have been, like 24 months of receipts for all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that would have made them look, I don't know, a little more aggressive,
Yeah.
Maybe, but I would have had those little pieces of paper in a folder ready to go.
I mean, why not, right? And also, if it's on a credit card, it's easy. It's an easy printout, you would think.
I would have had that in an envelope just like I do for my taxes.
Oh my God. Okay, I want to know this serious question. Do you guys think Sarah has that hair because she's trying to be Donna from 90210? Is that Tori Spelling?
Yes. During the college years, yes.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Kind of a Darth Vader thing going on too.
I don't know if she's trying for anything specific.
It's so not her vibe. Trying? Do you know my grandparents are dead?
Well, your age, everyone's grandparents.
Oh my God.
Brian was not having any of it.
I loved it. I was
Kind payments to petitioner prior to the date of filing, including giving respondent commissary money. 43. While the court does not find that petitioner's post-incarceration gestures absolve him from his alimony obligation, the court cannot find an intentional and willful violation of the final judgment under those unique circumstances, including respondent's long-term incarceration, petitioner's inability to make Zelle payments, and respondent's lack of a bank account that she can access. 44. As such,
at the trial, Brian said his Zillow account. I think he was nervous because I was like, "What?"
He said Zillow.
Yeah.
Now it's funny because she blames him for the account getting closed.
30 years she had that bank account.
Yeah,
but I don't. But
filed it closed.
She doesn't make sense because if he had put it in the account, which he would have had to have done for her account to be open, how was she going to get the money? How was she going to get that to her inmate?
Yeah, and that's her bank account. That's her problem. She should have figured out a way to deal with it. I mean, she bothered him about everything else. Why didn't she bother him about keeping that thing relevant or open or whatever? She
doesn't make any sense. She's so busy being the victim, like she doesn't think through all the other scenarios.
Yeah, and it's she feels like it's such a flex that she had a bank account for 30 years. That's like It's like having a polyp for 30 years. Who cares?
Right. Yeah,
You
it's not
know?
the flex you think it is,
Yeah.
man.
And he wouldn't have been able to stop any auto payments she had set up on that account
For her
to
subscriptions that she was also
Yeah.
complaining about. Like, what? And
Bulbs and
how are
seeds
you
or
getting
whatever.
those in jail? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. Yeah, it's see, and it's hard to tell because I get that no, you are not having Diet Coke, sir. I get that some people want to have some kind of flag, but it can't be. One, is it real as Sarah is making it? Because she's so excited, so dramatic about everything.
Yeah.
It's hard to know. Like, she's the girl crying wolf.
I mean, the
Oh,
only
for
reason
sure.
she had that bank account is because Brian was putting money in it for many years.
Right.
Not like she was working or,
Right.
Yeah. And it's not like she's money savvy, even if she was. It's not, it's like, ma'am.
No. And she got up and testified in court like she was so good with money when they first started asking her about. She's like, this was our agreement that George would pay this and then we would do
without
all
giving
this
me a
first,
problem.
and acting like she was so responsible.
Yeah, and she was helping her family pay the mortgage, which I do not believe.
No.
Not for one
Absolutely
second.
not.
Yeah. Unless mortgage was the name of some brandy.
Yeah, she was at the mall.
She was at the mall. Oh, guys.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go.
Petitioner's motion for contempt is denied as to contempt, but granted as to enforcement of petitioner's $1,000 alimony obligation for the 15 months prior to the filing of the modification petition for a total of $15,000. Roman numeral 4, request for attorney's fees and costs. 45. Petitioner seeks an award of attorney's fees and costs. Specifically, petitioner seeks $12,000.50 in attorney's fees and costs through July 29th, 2025, as well as fees and costs for the preparation and attendance at trial. 46. The court evaluates the following factors.
I think this is brilliant, and this will encourage her to be less litigious because she is quick to want to sue somebody with zero money. And so I'm glad she has to pay. Like, it's less zuzus and wham whams for her. You know what I mean? Like, because she could have settled 2 years ago. Man, what do you need child support for? You don't have a child you're supporting.
Yeah. Disgraceful.
Yeah. But I also think
she compared it to their original litigation time.
Yes. When they had real items to get rid of, a home and, like assets. And yeah, that's how it was all about the money for Sarah, that she dragged it out this long. Yeah, it's crazy.
It was.
There's under Rosen v. Rosen, footnote 5. Footnote 5 gives a citation of where you can find Rosen v. Rosen, 696 Southern 2nd District, 697, 700, Florida, 1997. A. Financial resources of both parties. Petitioner is an out-of-work software developer, but he stipulated to imputed annual income of $60,000. While he owns real estate and has tangible assets, the extent of his liquid cash is $1,306 in a trust checking account. C. Petitioner's financial affidavit filed on April 25th, 2025. Respondent, no ongoing monthly income, but she is entitled to $22,220 in alimony arrears. See paragraph 24 and 25 above.
So isn't that crazy? She, after he already imputed to $60,000 annual income, she still wanted his tax returns, his bank accounts, and like, I would be terrified to give that to that woman. She'd be in there plotting all day how to get his money.
Oh yeah, she wanted down to the penny.
That was creepy. And it's like, ma'am, it's just 60,000. Doesn't matter where it sits or where it sits, who else sits with it. You know, if the Benjis are there, like,
Yeah. Any money that anyone has is really hers. It's amazing. It's like she has zero understanding of anything.
she's got a little.
She wanted to even extend it out to his family's money as if that belongs to her too.
Right, like his parents are responsible, because even on one of the calls, she was like, when Peter was saying something about the lawyer's fees, and Peter was like, well, it's still adding up. His parents are paying for it. Okay, does it not add up for them?
And what does that have to do with you?
Like, right. Why? What would make you think that a man that you've been divorced from left him for a man who you then put in a suitcase and refused to let out?
Yeah.
Why would they be looking to help you?
Mm.
Oh my God. Okay.
B, scope and history of the litigation. The initial dissolution proceeding took 197 days from the filing of the petition to the entry of a final judgment, which included the distribution of real property, equitable distribution, time sharing, parenting plan issues, child support, and alimony. There was little to no activity in the court file from the entry of the final judgment until the filing of the modification petition. The scope of the post-judgment proceedings involved
Sarah being
relatively
petty.
straight.
That's what she's pointing out, because what they're talking about is far less than their original, and that one was lickety split. Like, she's calling Sarah out for being petty.
Exactly. That one was just over 6 months.
Years of objecting.
Right.
Forward issues on child support and alimony modifications, terminations, as well as the temporary and permanent relocation, to which respondent eventually consented after years of objecting. So their entire divorce with real property, the house, all that took less time than relocation, child support, and alimony from someone who's in jail and now prison. C, duration of the litigation. The post-judgment proceedings for which petitioner is seeking attorney's fees unnecessarily spanned 1,231 days from the date of filing of the modification petition to the final hearing on relatively straightforward issues. I feel like she's doing what Kranig did. I can count too. D, merits of the respective positions. Petitioners raised meritorious issues in seeking the termination and or modification of a child support and or modification of child support and alimony due to respondents' incarceration for second-degree murder and lack of exercising time sharing. Likewise, petitioner's basis for his request for location, in part due to the media coverage of respondents' murder charges, which led to the minor child being bullied, was also meritorious. On the other hand, respondents' failure to...
She's cutting her to the quick, right? Everything that Brian said has been meritorious, not one single thing. And his requests have always been in proper legal format, not some random batshit crazy cursive
Right. And
in
the best interest of the child, which is
right.
And reasonable even to the other parent, even though she's being so crazy.
She doesn't even pretend, though, for anything to be in the best interest of the child.
No, she can't. She can't figure it out.
Because when she tries to talk about him affectionately, he sounds like a possession.
No, or like a small child. Like she has no understanding. It's all like fantasy, weird, bizarre. Like he wants to hold my hand going on the first day of school. It's this 15-year-old boy. I mean, what are you talking about, lady?
Cuckoo. Okay, here's the next bit.
To acknowledge a substantial change in circumstances, her objection to the termination of child support, and her objections, at least the downward modification of alimony, were without merit. Footnote 7. Footnote 7 reads, the court notes that there was some merit to respondents' objections to petitioner's request for sole parental responsibility, although she confused and continues to confuse petitioner's request for sole parental responsibility with a request for the termination of her parental rights. However, even a meritorious defense on the issue did not justify 1,231 days of litigation. E. Whether the litigation is brought or maintained primarily to harass, or whether a defense is raised mainly to frustrate or stall. After being incarcerated for a number of years, respondent continued maintaining her defenses to the modification of child support and alimony, even after being convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
That
Petty.
took cleared up for her.
Yes, you're petty. Like, you're petty. Like, because maybe the first 2 years, it could have been like, oh, I want to hold on to hope. But after you're convicted, you're still arguing. Do you think they were ever going to agree to anything at the pre-trial? That's why the judge gave
No.
him a pass. Like, you should have asked first, but go on somewhere. Oh my God.
She was going to run up more attorney fees.
Mhm.
Exactly.
What's it to her?
She finally capitulated
Without a care in the world. No guilt.
to the modification of child support at the final hearing, but continued to contest a financial change in circumstances and argued that she was entitled to $1,000 in alimony. The existence and course of prior or pending litigation. As noted above, the prejudgment litigation lasted 197 days versus 1,236 days of litigation. Wait, wasn't it 31? I don't know how this changed, but okay. Is the 6 next to the 1 on the 10 key? Further, respondent continued to drag out the post-judgment proceedings even after she was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility.
Oh, I got it off and I'll go back. But oh my God, how many times is she going to count the days it took that she's in for second degree murder? No, you're going to make it fall. It's crazy. Like, she knows Sarah.
She's not leaving anything to guesstimation or question.
Yeah, it sounds like she looked at some of her old letters where she was listing how many days she was incarcerated.
Yes.
Yeah, this is just one page more than Kranik's.
Right. She was, less crazy over there. That's even possible.
$1,000 in alimony. The existence and course of prior or pending litigation. As noted above, the prejudgment litigation lasted 197 days versus 1,236 days of litigation. Wait, wasn't it 31? I don't know how this changed, but okay. Is the 6 next to the 1 on the 10 key? Further, respondent continued to drag out the post-judgment proceedings even after she was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. 47. Upon evaluating the Rosen factors, Rosen is italicized, referencing a case. The court finds that the majority of respondents' defenses in the post-judgment proceedings were frivolous or spurious, which resulted in unnecessary litigation.
Because she wants to be the one in control.
48. Therefore, petitioner is entitled to reasonable attorney fees and costs to provide justice and ensure equity between the parties. The court finds that the $175 paralegal rate and $395 attorney rate are reasonable. That's per hour. Petitioner has shown through
I wonder if she's going to want to be paid for all of the time that she had to be her own lawyer for this.
Oh yeah. She wanted a court-appointed attorney
Mm-hmm.
to cost. She
Peter
wanted to
tried
run
to
up
get
more
her an attorney,
hours.
but she messed that up too. So
She wanted the child to have an attorney they had to pay
Yeah, in
for.
one of their filings when they went back to ask for a free attorney, like Peter sent the note that he said that they went through like 24 attorneys turned her down.
yeah.
Mm.
Isn't that a sign? Oh, let me settle.
Nope, not for her.
Because they probably would have helped her settle it, but they knew it was like, even though the law was on her side for those 22 months, what mother is taking $22,000 out of their child's household while they rot in jail,
Yeah.
prison for the rest?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of person are you?
And she's so pissed when anyone else gets
Selfish.
paid. She was so pissed when Bankwitz and Cashman and all them got paid for their time. Like that was money out of her pocket.
Right. And like they were supposed to work for free, work with her
What's
for
it to her?
free.
Like I don't understand.
Yeah,
No, that was out of my pocket because I work in the state of Florida. You can
Yeah,
be my money
exactly.
back.
You should be the one that's pissed off. And you are, and you should be.
Baby.
$168 through July 29th, 2025. Footnote 8. Footnote 8 reads, see petitioner's exhibit number 2. The court deducted $332.50 due to 1.9 hours of paralegal time that appeared to be clerical in nature. 51. The court finds that 8 hours of paralegal time and 8 hours of attorney time for the preparation for and attendance at the final hearing is reasonable for an additional fee award of $4,560. I don't know if there was a paralegal at the final hearing. I know his brother was there, but someone else. Larry, hear me out. Edie Beatty, HR2 mom, what do you guys remember? Why do you... There's something...
So Martell must have submitted their hours.
Yeah, it's in an exhibit, but it sounds like there was an error in there. But then I was like, let me leave it alone, because then it sounds like she also paid for this, for his brother to be there, because the paralegal wasn't in the courtroom. I mean, I got there late, so maybe the other people can chime in.
The brother wasn't a paralegal? Wasn't his paralegal there?
Oh, that's a possibility. Look at you with those critical thinking skills.
Just throwing it out there. I don't know.
Oh my God. So yes, the brother could have been one and the same. So maybe that. Look at you, Suma, solving the world's problems. 52. Petitioner shall receive a credit of $16,228 from the alimony arrears owed to respondent, leaving an alimony arrears balance of $3,992.00. What he is getting back from what is being held is around $3,600. So he is right now out of pocket about $392 when it's all said and done. It is therefore ordered and adjudged that A, petitioner's petition for modification is granted in part. B, petitioner's petition for relocation is granted. C, parental responsibility time sharing. Petitioner father shall have sole authority to make major decisions for the child and 100% time sharing with the minor child. D, visitation. Little I, beginning May 1st, 2026, mother shall be entitled to 1 telephone call per week with the minor child, as well as an additional call on the child's birthday, Thanksgiving Day, and Christmas.
What? Not Valentine's Day? Not Sarah's birthday? Not Easter?
The holiday calls shall be in addition to the weekly calls, but each call shall be no longer than 30 minutes each, unless otherwise agreed upon by the parties. 2 little eyes. Beginning May 1st, 2026, or within 30 days of the minor child being... Really quick, I gotta show some receipts because I know everybody's like, where are you getting that number from? So I just want to show the unclaimed. I have a whole video on it where I tied it to the arrears, but that's going to take too long. So let me just give you guys. Can you see that?
I love that they don't get a call on her birthday.
Or Mother's Day.
Or Mother's Day, yeah. Right.
No.
This is just like Sarah has to learn how to be a grown up suddenly.
Is it? Oh, it is there. Okay. So this is the unclaimed funds. The total will tie back to the arrearages spreadsheet, but this is visually just easier to look at. So she had the 9 claims. This is the Florida, what is it called? Treasure hunt for unclaimed money. So it's basically acting like an escrow account while it's being held because the other guys are not meant to just be hanging on to money. So then we have, there's a total of 9 of them. The 9th one is on another page because this gives the total, right? So that's 800 there. And then this one is $2,806.38 plus that 800 we just looked at. So he's getting $3,606.38 back. Does that make sense? Can you guys see it? I left this up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where I'm saying he's like about 300. I mean, it's still a win. It's very close to 0. Okay, back to
Approved as a visitor, whichever occurs first. Mother shall be entitled to 1 weekend visit per month for 2 hours per visit at the Lowell Correctional Institution main unit in Ocala, Florida. The petty in me, since Sarah is not at the main unit, I would drive up there and go sit in the main unit, and then I complied with the order. I don't know why she hasn't corrected her address, but okay. We're going to leave Petty University and just go back to reading. 3 little lies. The transportation cost for weekend visits shall be allocated to father. 4 in Roman numerals. All other provisions of the parenting plan approved by the final judgment not expressly modified herein shall remain in full effect. Alimony modification. Effective March 1, 2020, petitioner's alimony obligation is hereby modified downward to $145. This is incorrect because he was just charged $15,000 from March 1st until he filed in April for the modification. So I just think they meant to put the 22nd, whatever that was. I'm sorry, the 2022 in whatever month that was. All other provisions of the marital settlement agreement approved by the final judgment, not expressly modified herein, shall remain in full effect, including the length of the award of the durational alimony. As a result, petitioner's durational alimony terminated on April 2nd, 2025. Roman numeral 3. Petitioner shall receive a credit of $16,228 for his award of attorney's fees in accordance with paragraph F below. As such, the alimony arrears amount is reset at $3,990.
Do you guys remember that first letter she sent to Martel? Like, who is this woman? Where did you find her? Is there a bias? I've got cancer. I can't give you a range of dates.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you let me know who she is
Unreasonable.
and where she is? And I've got cancer and I don't know what's going to happen with my treatment. And
Then complained that they didn't negotiate with her.
Right. No, the other side filed something straight away and said she's not cooperating. Like they weren't even going to go back and forth. I don't know if Sarah thought like they were going to come. What is it? You didn't even ask me questions. They were like, no, ma'am.
And she's never available for anything. It's like she has such a busy schedule.
$2. The 300 Roman numeral 4. The $3,992 balance of this alimony arrears shall be paid in 7 installments deposited into respondent's inmate trust account. Within 20 days of entry of this final judgment, which is April 7th, petitioner shall apply to be an individual who, pursuant to Rule 33-601.716 of the Florida Administrative Code, is identified on the respondent's automated visiting record. He actually has to be approved to send money. 6, petitioner shall make the following payment deposits to respondent's inmate trust account. A, within 90 days of petitioner being identified on Sarah K. Boone's automated visiting record with the recurrent quote-unquote approved status, pursuant to Rule 33-601.716 FAC, petitioner shall make payment number 1 in the amount.
You'll notice too, his process is different because I've been like in places where in internet rooms, and it's like they send her money via the web. Right. They're going to have him send it to a physical address. It's going to be a check, a money order. It has to have the deposit slip in it. So like they're tracking it, obviously, so he knows when he's done. So he won't have that experience of like a loved one sending her money,
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Amount of $600. On or before December 1st, 2026, petitioner shall make payment number 2 in the amount of $392. On or before March 1st, 2027, petitioner shall make payment number 3 in the amount of $600. On or before June 1, 2027, petitioner shall make payment number 4 in the amount of $600. On or before September 1, 2027, petitioner shall make payment number 5 in the amount of $600. On or before December 1, 2027, petitioner shall make payment number 6 in the amount of $600. On or before March 1,
This is what I don't get, right? Because she can't have more than 300 in her regular inmate trust account at a time. She's got to set up another bank account separate and aside, right? But so why are some of them 600 and the others are 392? And why is it staggered in a weird way? Like it's
I don't know. Only
quarterly.
one of them is 392 or whatever it is. It's the second one is 300.
Right, early on, and then there's like a 600. There was something,
And they're all 600, but they're like in weird, like, is it every 3 months?
I think it's quarterly.
2 months?
It is kind of a weird payment schedule.
Every 2 months would make sense if it's $300 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's look at it again.
But how is she going to use $300 a month? Oh, she's allowed to use $300 a month. I see.
Right.
So
She's allowed to have it on the book. She doesn't have to spend it all, but she can't have more than 300.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, she really should. She should only be getting the $145 a month.
I agree. But there's some method to the madness that I'm overlooking.
Yeah.
I'm hoping somebody knows.
record with the recurrent quote-unquote approved status. Pursuant to Rule 33-601.716 FAC, petitioner shall make payment number 1 in the amount of $600. On or before December 1st, 2026, petitioner shall make payment number 2 in the amount of $392. On or before March 1st, 2027, petitioner shall make payment number 3 in the amount of $600. On or before June 1, 2027, petitioner shall make payment number 4 in the amount of $600. On or before September 1, 2027, petitioner shall make payment number 5 in the amount of $600. On or before December 1, 2027, petitioner shall make payment number 6 in the amount of $600. On or before March 1, 2028, petitioner shall make payment number 7 in the amount of $600. 7. An alimony 7. All alimony payments, deposits shall be made by cashier's check, money order, or certified bank draft made payable to Correct Pay and mailed with a deposit slip by the due date above to FDC Inmate Deposits, Bradenton, Florida. G. Child support termination. 1. Father's child support obligation shall be terminated retroactively to February 25th, 2020. 2. Father is entitled to the return of any funds being held by the clerk of court for overpayment of child support. 3. The new child support arrears are 0 effective April 7th. That is the date of this filing. 4. The clerk is directed to return any and all funds being held for child support to petitioner Brian C. Boone. F. Attorney's fees. Petitioner is awarded $16,228 in attorney's fees and costs and shall receive a credit of this amount from the unpaid alimony arrears. Relocation. Petitioner is permitted to permanently relocate to where he is in Florida. H. All other provisions of the final judgment, marital settlement agreement, and parenting plan not expressly modified herein shall remain in full effect. I. The court reserves jurisdiction to modify this supplemental final judgment done and ordered at Orange County, Florida on this 7th day of April, 2026, signed by LaShonda K. Jackson, the Honorable. E-signed 407. Certificate of service. So again, Sarah's got her old address. And the reason why it matters is because legal mail, you're getting the physical mail. So it has the physical location where she is. Yeah, she'll figure it out. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I feel like the judge got it all on the record, right? Like,
Yeah.
you fought him for 3-4 years about child support, did not agree until the day of the hearing that you were not entitled to child support. You argued arbitrarily about their wanting to relocate, could not articulate why you didn't want them. And that was just for the temporary, right? Which a logical person would go for the temporary because you'll know more about your case. What you can always extend it. It's not like, anyway, she didn't know the difference between parental rights and sole responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, basically, you're not a good mom. You're not
No.
thinking about your kid, and it's super transparent.
Yeah, it's very obvious, as we knew it would. I mean, she really went above and beyond in that hearing, that family court hearing. She was just horrible.
The judge called it what it was, entitled. She said she was entitled to the alimony, like, which she totally feels like she is.
Yeah.
In her mind, that's her money. It was awarded
She's
to
legally
her.
entitled to it. So
Yes. And shame on Brian for not coughing it up and
that's right.
putting her
she's
first.
legally entitled to 145.
And I mean, Judge Jackson didn't even mention that Brian admitted to drinking around the child. So I mean, I don't understand any of this.
Right. Well, I don't get why she would try to disparage Brian anyway. Are you saying your son should not be, or his son should not be with him? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is your point? Even in there where the judge said she asked for, she filed for contempt of court, she didn't specify like what remedy she was looking for. You just writing to complain? You think I don't have anything else to do?
Yeah, yeah, that's what she's doing. And I don't think Sarah's not going to understand a lot of this. A lot of it, she's not.
Oh, I know she's not.
Right?
Yeah,
like, I just don't see how
who is in her world who will understand it.
She might. The takeaway, she might now know that she's sentenced to life without parole. Maybe
right.
Says it twice. Finally, someone clarifies this for her. But other than that, there's going to be a lot of confusion.
So, like, what? No, yeah, it's who's going to help her write the rage letter?
Well, I think that's going to be covered.
Totally unfiltered, unhinged Sarah. Just like after she got sentenced to life, she went and did the full professional FU, uploaded to the court doc. Like, she has at this point, she knows she has nothing to lose, so she's going to go ham.
Right. She had already gotten life, and then she doubles down and is like, oh, you thought that was bad? Oh, let me show you the real letter since I've got nothing else going on.
Yeah.
And I bet she does the same thing in this situation. Oh, now that I've lost all my money.
What bothers me is she's going to insult Brian and probably her son.
She better not.
I know, but
because she knows this is all public record.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
No, she likes that. That's why she's doing it. If it wasn't public record, what's the point?
Oh my God.
But she likes to go, like you said, full ham. She's going to start just trying to publicly insult and humiliate them, just like she did her attorneys.
That's the thing, though. It's hard to understand. I think that's one of the things that fascinates her, or fascinates me about her. She doesn't care. She's just like, I'm going to say every horrible thing. And then she's surprised when you don't want to deal with her anymore. Like, she cuts everyone to the quick.
about only herself, which is why she does that, right? Like she does care. She wants revenge. She wants them to look. I'm just going to humiliate you in front of the whole world.
But how would she feel if someone did that to her? Like, what is that?
Someone has everyone's
well,
done that to her.
think about how she mentioned all of us YouTubers
Oh my
on
God.
the stand at her sentencing, saying how we had blood on our keyboards because she was incensed that we were talking about her. She was incensed that a camera might be there when she got arrested.
But she's obsessed by it. Stop having the info piped in. If
She hates
something
it
was
and
bad
she
for my
uses
mental
it.
health, I don't want people to keep repeating it to me.
Right.
Yeah, she uses it. She loves it. I mean, I just don't know how any of this she thinks makes her look like she gets her message out there, but her message is the rantings of a lunatic.
Yeah, I don't think, what she thinks should be a message, I don't think normal people are like, oh yeah, I needed to hear.
No.
Tabby LH, thank you. Your question was, are the visitations behind glass or do they actually get to hug each other? They're meant to be behind glass, but a bunch of stuff has been changing. So I just sent off a request for a new handbook about the close custody visitations. Because I know for sure they have one extra person on them, like a guard, the CO. But yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say she's really only going to want a hug from an officer.
Oh my God.
Lord.
In front of her son.
That's what she likes,
Oh my God.
She's going to get tackled by an officer is what she's going to get.
Yeah, definitely. If she isn't right now as we speak.
Oh my God. And I feel like he's going to get cheated because, like, imagine being that kid and you haven't seen your mom and you just want to go see her and, like, chop it up. How's it been? And then Sarah's your mom.
Right. Yeah. That's going to be so ugly also.
Because a migraine.
She's going to be so angry and nasty to both of them.
Yes.
That's not going to be. She can't put anything aside and just have a nice visit with her son. That's not capable.
No.
She's going to want to talk about how poor destitute she is, how Brian spent all this money on attorneys to steal from her.
She's always so positive.
Yeah.
Always up for solutions.
Just staying positive and putting a smile on my face.
Oh my God. And that's why they hate me. Oh my God.
Yeah, because I'm super focused and I sit on my bunk and I don't talk to anyone.
And I'm a beacon of light.
Oh, please.
You might not even talk to them if they visit.
You don't think so? No. She talked to the son.
I don't know.
I'm glad the judge said only 2 hours. Like, nobody needs to sit across from that for longer than 2 hours.
I just wonder if she'll even do it. I don't know.
If Sarah will do it?
Yeah, if she'll even want to have a visit with them.
She's going to be nice, nasty. Like, she's going to compliment her son on a shirt, and then she'll be like, oh, what is that? Ralph Lauren?
Maybe, but she doesn't have anything to gain.
Here I am in these prison scrubs.
You know she's going to mention the bidet on the first visit.
Yeah.
I just don't want her to say anything that maybe his son said in confidence, and then she use it as a weapon against Brian and hurts the son.
She will.
Like, puts them in you know what I mean? Like, please just try and be normal.
Well, if she has information like that, she's going to put it in her letter because this is going to be a professional fuck you to them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Because she wants them to hear everything she feels like they stifled her from saying in court.
And humiliate them.
Right.
She's really just embarrassing herself. But yeah, she thinks she's humiliating and exposing them. Like the quote unquote justice system is being unjust to me.
And she's too stupid to remember that the judge can modify anything she wants to. So a letter like that might really hurt her.
She doesn't care.
No, that's right. That's right.
She's not a conformist.
No.
God, you can't live like that.
Terrible way to live.
Oh my God. Right.
Oh my God.
Judge J knows Sarah. Thank you, Scout November Light. Judge J knows Sarah would hold anything, yes, against him. That must have been a subliminal. She wanted to spare him that. Yeah, like calling him in chambers. And then, because at that point, just like she did on that call with Julian, I was like, how do you know it was me? But she would tell him, well, you were the only one in there. This is what changed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And remember in the hearing when she was supposed to be questioning Brian, she tried to say, and I'll tell you this, I know about his girlfriend. Like, what?
You're not telling anyone anything.
Exactly.
Man. Yes.
What was her point? So a teenager has a girlfriend. So what? What was she telling him?
Petty. She's like, she went to Petty Community College because it's not really good. It's kind of cruel. But it's, yeah. And she's trying to dress him down in front of the judge, like showing she's Brian Calloway boot. It's just like,
my God, it's so embarrassing. She's so bizarre. She has like this bizarre ideal of how things should go. And I mean, to say that is so ridiculous.
Right. Like,
remember when
she's his mom.
Yes, remember when the prosecutor said she took a parent role with George?
Yeah. No, it wasn't the prosecutor. It was that therapist that she.
Mr. J did it too. Yeah. The therapist was more, but that. Oh,
right. Yeah. It was
with
the
Brian. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. You're taking him to do puzzles and then paint, and it's like you're planning his whole day for him.
Yeah, and he said, you have a child, right? You have a child of your own.
Mr. J had the best delivery. He just was like, psh. Like,
she hated him.
Again, Sue. Like,
I thoroughly enjoyed him.
Me too.
I wish he was the state attorney on that Koenig trial. Not that he didn't do a decent job, but they needed someone like that.
Right. Thanks, Larry. Speaking of Matlock, I always thought Owens was Timu Matlock. I hope Owens is okay. Like, as much as I don't like some of his characteristics, he stepped up. Imagine what that trial would have been without him.
He might be horrible, but no one deserves Sarah.
Right.
He had to take a lot of antacids during that trial.
I'm sure.
So did we.
He was probably stressed to the max dealing with her.
Yeah.
And then on the phone with Lana till the wee hours, like she's trying to talk him down. He would have left without Lana. I know everybody doesn't like her, but whatever. Yeah. He was like, she's not human.
Yeah.
I think Owens went underground, like just cut off everything and everyone but his family and just hiding.
I would hide from her too. She gives out her son's address. She ain't gonna give a damn about giving out Owens.
She did put it in one of the documents when she asked the judge to make him give her paperwork. She put his home address and his office address, knowing that was going to get published.
Oh, so disgusting.
I do remember that now.
Ruthless.
Oh my God. Hopefully I got everyone.
Judge Jackson spoke to Cranick. She must know him. And, he was he had her job at one point.
Yes. That's what I said. It feels like they had lunch before that that order.
I had fantasies of them being stuck in the elevator together. Like, whatever it takes for them to just talk about this.
Yeah.
At least it will be therapeutic for them now because they both will understand each other.
What do you guys think? Well, no, it's probably not going to get in front of the three appellate, but I'm like, wonder what that would be like.
Yeah.
Oh my. But Pearl's coming up.
Yeah, well, she's got to go get her number.
The ticket, the number, right?
Yeah. Like she can go down to the courthouse.
Oh my God. If only she had that 2011
Why are you doing
Kia. Everybody would be there every day.
I mean, what is she even? It doesn't make any sense at all, of course. And we looked it up and it was denied, right? So, I mean, that whole bill, whatever that was supposed to be.
Who's circulating these to her?
and tell them all what they're doing wrong. Because like I said, she's the one that can clock in and do anybody's job. You know, she
Yeah,
knows what they
right.
should be doing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if she did actually get parole, being her parole officer?
No.
Oh,
I mean, she would not last very long in the free world again.
No.
like we have to
No.
revoke her parole immediately.
Okay, this is a good question. Did the ruling address third parties contacting them or sending son gifts? That's it doesn't specifically. It mentions something about third party, but no, it doesn't. But it also there was a note in there about the dad will buy him presents now,
Right,
so
the
it
dad
seems like
buys
that
gifts and has been.
eliminate. And has been, right. Will continue.
Yeah.
So she shouldn't be having Tom, Dick, and Harry send anything
it
to
won't.
him.
But she also, well, first of all, and also what 14, 15-year-old boy, he's really going to miss not getting a tie with a matching pocket square because every kid likes that.
Oh my God.
But I also thought that maybe, I was hoping, of course, that they would mention the fact that she lied about how much donations she gets.
I know. Well, we'll find. Will we be following her? There'll be some sort of tea because remember before when Phil was sending her money and it couldn't go in because she already had money and then she'd try to pretend. So when it's at that 300, nobody else is going to be able to send anything. So what is she going to be telling them?
Yeah.
She's gonna have to get her one of those prison pen pals. That's her only hope at this point.
Yeah. Well, she does like to write a letter, so.
Yeah.
Wait, so how would the prison pen pal work? She'd have her family send the money to them so that Brian's money can sit in her account?
No, I think there's like I don't
know
know firsthand, but I think there's like a
No, I know.
where you can pick a girlfriend and write to them.
We don't know firsthand yet.
Not yet.
Don't do crimes. Don't do crimes. Oh
We
my
don't have to do
God.
crimes. We can get a job at Lowell.
She's in for a really long haul. She
Yes.
has no idea.
Yes. Thank you to all the new members. That's what I'm saying. She's not equipped for that. I think there is some sort of dissonance, and it's why isn't it registering this is the rest of her life? Like, get a new attitude, girl. You're gonna walk around grumpy like that for the rest of your life?
No, she has a smile on her face. She's a beacon. What are you talking about?
A beacon of positivity. Like,
She's
what is she
straight from the
waiting
pit of hell.
on? What is she waiting on to get her act right installed? What is happening?
It's not possible. Like, that's the thing about her, that the reason we're all here talking about it, there's something so missing. Like,
all pistons are not firing in that brain.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, though. She's never going to call that son. Now that she has to pay for it on her
Absolutely
side,
not.
she's
Honey
going to have
bun or
to
son?
budget that money out. And we know she can't budget.
No.
And so she's never going to hear from him. He's going to be like, what's up?
Yeah. He might have to
Do you want me to die? She's going to say, my blood sugar concerns. Do you want me to die so I can call you?
Yeah.
What did you say, Simba? What was the last thing you said?
He might actually have to send her a letter or a card if he wants to.
Imagine.
Because she's not. None of that is going to happen now.
Well, of all the years that we've had penitentiaries, most of them were without all these damn electronics. If you don't get a paper and a pen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't care to keep in touch with him. And she's going to be very angry at both of them, I think. And there's no way she's picking her son over Zuzus and Wham Whams ever.
But I think he might be her ticket to future Zuzus. And so she's going to want to invest, right? Because
she can
very good point.
Do that because I think she's too much about immediate satisfaction. She's not going to want to forfeit today's Zuzu.
Right. She has no long term.
For the future Zuzus and Wham Whams.
Oh my God. What's she going to do at 70? Is she going to make it? But is she, who's going to be providing? Well, she hasn't even made 50
No
yet.
one.
What am I
and
saying?
There are plenty of people in prison who don't get Zuzus and Wham Whams.
Right.
You know? And
It's going to be a while, Lady Justice. The phone logs take forever, but we'll ask for them.
Yeah.
Because I want to know, like this week, what were those calls like?
Yes. You know what else is she gonna have to fund her own tablet messages now?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she can't just harass
She's got
Brian.
nobody to ask for tokens or
Yeah.
stamps or
And
whatever
this
they're
is
called.
all on her because she could have friends, she could have family. Most of the people in prison, not all of them, I'm sure some of them are very poor and probably were homeless and were in terrible situations. But I would imagine more than that, there are people there who have family, they have friends, they have people they can rely on. Their children show up on Mother's Day, for example. Not
Mhm.
Sarah. And that's all of her own
Right.
doing.
Right.
I think her brain has been rewired from starting alcohol abuse at an early age. That's why I think she really never, like the therapist or the psychologist said, she never really developed past that young teenage
Yeah. I wonder if
age.
it's alcohol though. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Does alcohol, sorry if this is a dumb question, impact the frontal cortex? Like your reasoning and your.
I mean, she
That's
wasn't that young when
Well,
she
it can't help, especially if your brain's still developing and I don't know how much she was drinking, but I think she started young. I remember hearing somebody saying that.
Yeah, but that would be
Can't help.
very heavy drinking.
I speculated that, but only because of her maturity level. It's like she's
Mhm.
frozen there.
Yes.
So
At around 12, I would say. Is that like bizarre?
So you guys think she'll see this as a loss because she didn't get the 62?
Oh yeah.
Don't
Oh
you?
yeah. Because she's essentially getting just under $4,000. That's not going to last her.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
And she thinks that she's owed what, 60 grand?
Yeah.
Yeah, 62. But here's the thing that I like too, right? Because we know that Judge Jackson has a mother who murdered her father and she grew up with her father's people, right? I think also, and it might just be my California hippie, that she's planting seeds for the son, right? Because if you look at the schedule, no matter how we try to make sense of it, the last payment is March of 2028. He does not turn majority till October. She's not going to be calling after that. And he will get to see for himself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, she's not going to be calling before that either, and he'll see that. But yeah, I see what
You
you're
don't
saying.
think she will after she fought for the 1 hour?
No.
Ooh. Oh.
I don't think she's going to call him very much at all because that's money.
Right.
Until she figured, she might not understand somehow that she has to pay for those calls. Although she'll probably figure it out.
She's not going to. If one of the flying monkeys reads it to her, she's not going to.
No, she won't. I don't know. She won't think about it somehow. And all of a sudden she'll be like, wait a minute. Once she figures it out, those calls are not happening anymore.
Because he doesn't have to load those cards anymore. She can't report him to the
Yeah, he
judge.
can't load those cards. I mean, he could, I guess, but he's not going to.
Yeah, but she can't. I mean, right. He shouldn't.
Yeah.
But and there's no one. It's not like she can call the manager. Like the judge said, he didn't have to.
Right. I mean, now she's going to have to rely on maybe one or two people. I don't know who she's got now to do that, but maybe the LaFontaines or I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And her brother.
Right.
Yeah.
He sends her small amounts when he sends them.
And they might run out of patience and kindness for her too.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, because as the flying monkeys reduce, she's going to get more and more desperate. Right. And she's got to ask each, if she's down to 2, she's got to ask each for more. Where if you have a 6, you ask, but for, you know what I mean? Like they're going to leave quickly.
She was juggling it a little bit, but I'm sure they're all also kind of at the end of their tether anyway at this point.
Oh, yeah. And it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. I hope her son chooses to just go be free if that's what he wants.
Yeah,
it's scary.
It's a bad feeling, I bet. I mean, what a nightmare.
Yeah, I hope Brian is dancing. I hope he's celebrating because I definitely think this is a win. He went in and the attorney said, we'd like to just call it even. They got close to it.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is that he has to be in contact with her, but I guess he has to anyway for the driving, but he's got to be making payments through March.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have to be in contact with her. Well, he has to be there in the visits.
Right.
But that's probably for the best.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, the minor has to be accompanied by a guardian.
yeah.
She'll be trying to figure out something. Did you fall asleep? Because she'll want to have some time alone. But I think Brian's got to say, I'm going to the restroom. You got to come with me. You know what I mean? Like, not a second.
Mhm.
No. Yeah. It's going to be a long 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad it's only 2 hours, though, because Sarah asked for as maximum amount.
Maximum time allowed.
Right.
Crazy.
And it just feels like a huge wait because we've been waiting. Now we know what the answer is. I know some people don't like it. But
Yeah.
the law's got to apply to all of us the same, not just people we don't like.
It's as good as we could really hope for with it being legal.
Right.
And fair, yeah. She had to take. She couldn't just say you're not getting anything that you've asked for.
No,
Right.
That would have been
reduced it a
biased.
little bit more, but it's really such a small amount of money. And Sarah will see it as it's the same as nothing to her. She's not going to be happy. And for Sarah, it's not even, I mean, yes, it's about money, but she's going to be very upset about the money. And she's going to be even more upset about all the insults.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know, and reminders of the drinking and the this and the that. And so, I mean, this is not
The second degree murder, right?
Yeah, and all the
That's
life
the best
parole
part.
and all that. You know, that's not going to be a good. She's not going to like this at all.
No.
It's going to be painful, but it is. Here's the thing. Here's the rub, because I see she had 2 exit ramps, right? But just like she did in the criminal case, she passed them the F up. First
Mhm.
one is just be nice to Brian. Say, thank you, please. How are you doing? Thank you for looking after our
Whatever
son.
you can do.
He would have looked
Yeah.
out for her, but she
Forever.
started acting a fool, writing letters to everybody and their mother. And then he was like, what? Let me show you how I can really be, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because even in the hearing, he was like, once she kept going through so many lawyers, I realized she was not trying to resolve that. And why would she? She had the perfect life. She was living rent free. She didn't have to be. The only thing is she doesn't have hooch, but I'm still not convinced that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
wouldn't she want to delay it? What was her motive to go?
In Brian, she had somebody who would have supported her forever, really just for the sake of their son. I really feel like everything
think
he
so,
did
too.
was for their son, and he did the right
Yeah.
thing until he finally saw, like, this is not helping my son. This isn't helping anyone. Fuck this bitch, you know?
Right.
I mean, she's just
I just
horrible.
think she blew it at the beginning, trying to like give commands from jail. I think he
Yeah.
would have been like, he had been doing it. And then I
Yeah.
don't know why she wants to hold on to like the car and the other things. And I think she just was going, and maybe it's like from her mother's side, it's something in the household. She was just going to nag him no matter what. It's like that TV. He couldn't do anything right. Like literally, he couldn't do anything right.
Yeah, and I think once she was against the relocation, that was also like really just showed you, like Judge Jackson said, she just didn't care.
Right. Right. Son's getting bullied. I don't know if you remember in the letter when she was like, what's that got to do with me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not my fault.
It literally is your fault.
And even if it isn't, you should not want it happening.
Correct.
Right. Oh my God. What do you guys think? What did she say to her son the night before she got arrested? Remember, she spent the night. She had that weird thing on the stand when Owens was like, and so you stayed the night with your
son,
ex-husband and your son. My son. I was
Yeah.
like, did Brian go somewhere? Or like,
No,
why
she
were
just
you?
didn't really want people to think about the fact that she went back to her ex-husband like she's some kind of strumpet.
She drew more attention to it because I wouldn't have. I was just like, something is wrong.
Like she just went there to be with her son.
Yeah. But then now I know she says $6,000 or whatever he offered. Maybe he did. It's not in the files.
Mhm.
But take that. She still would have gotten more.
Yeah,
But that night,
a lot more. I mean, double, kind of.
right. The night of because she's upset that Brian says, I have to explain to him what a killer is and a murderer is.
Yeah.
What was that conversation like at that house that night? I mean, she was called a blotto.
Well, I think Brian told her that she should get a lawyer.
Yeah.
And she was like, What are you talking about? I'm just gonna go talk to them. It's just George. You know, I mean, I didn't mean to do it. It wasn't intentional. I don't need a lawyer.
And she's always worried about her rights. But what about the right to remain silent, ma'am?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's not a right she's into.
No,
I didn't like that right.
she totally blew past that one.
Yeah, fuck that right. I want to talk. I want to explain, but I never get a chance to.
I think she probably told her son something happened to George and we don't know what yet. They have to do an examination. She might have said that he was gone, and she probably, just like she was telling the police, I don't know if he had an aneurysm or I don't know what happened.
Other than this, what was the cause of death?
You know what? Yeah. Other than
Yeah.
Really,
my
other than
God.
that? Nothing other than that.
Right.
Like, so we don't even know. So, like, what are you going to tell them? What are you going to tell them?
Why does
Yeah,
it matter?
You're right, though, Classy. I think she was like, you know, something happened. We don't know what yet. We're going to find out.
Yeah.
I don't think she takes into account, not that they were like friends, hangout friends, but they had a companionship and
Yeah, of
she killed his
Mhm.
friend. She doesn't
No,
like acknowledge that with him. I'm sure he's pissed.
I don't think she understands anyone else's experience in life at all.
No. And if my ex took someone out of this planet in the way that she did, no less, I would not have them staying at my house that night. I'd be like, good luck.
Yeah.
Good night and good luck. And I
I'll
would
put
close
you up
my
at the
door.
DoubleTree. You
Yeah,
probably
she
need to
had nothing of
decompress.
going over there, as you said, whenever she wanted to, just invading their lives.
But I don't want you around the children if you just took
No.
someone's life. There's no way you're coming in here.
No, yeah.
No.
So I feel bad for David Maldonado. He's got until May 17th.
Yeah.
That's going to be rough. And she's going to come in hot whenever they touch base.
Because
Yeah.
now that's the only thing she has to focus on.
Yeah.
All her anger and rage will be
She can appeal more than once, though, right?
not for free.
Right. Oh, not for free. Or not
Yeah.
herself, even.
Yeah. I mean, do you want her? I mean, that would be
I mean,
common.
I don't want to. Yeah, I just assume that she might try to do it herself.
She'll tank
If
the
she can
whole
get someone
economy.
else to do the work for her, like a flying monkey kind of situation. Not.
Maybe. I don't. Yeah, no. I mean, this one is David Maldonado is going to be paid for by the state of Florida. And then if she wants something else after that, she would be able to do the thing that Shanda Van Ark recently did.
But she's a lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, no, but she still was represented, but ineffective assistance of counsel, she was saying. And so it's not called an appeal, it's something else, but I'm forgetting it. But like, it is, Bundy was a lawyer too. That's why I think he kept coming up in my search. But it was, now I forgot what I was saying. I got to sidetrack.
Something about it, the second appeal we were talking about. But so this is basically going to be the only one because she might write a few letters, but she's not going to appeal again on her own.
I mean, or she could have some pros there. People raise some funds for an attorney, or the Innocence Project could come in. Don't give up on her.
Yeah, no, you're right. The Innocence Project, that's going to happen.
Have to look for success in a different way.
That's right. Yeah, and more than one way.
There's more than
Yes,
one way.
there we go.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I have. I think we've been on here like
Thank
3
you so
hours
much,
now.
Tanika and Classy.
Thank you, and Classy too. Oh my God, this was so much fun. Thanks everybody for joining.
Thank
Please
you.
subscribe to all the channels. Give us thumbs up and all that
Yes.
fun stuff. We appreciate you.
Toodles.
Yes. Good night, everybody.
Doodles.
Toodles.
Oh my God, I'm just gonna out. Wait.
I need to out.
Okay.